difficult. We got a lot going on sometimes, But we're gonna try and keep it consistent again, hopefully. But this episode is gonna be special. With the release date, the release of Skyward Sword HD being yesterday, and overall just the Zelda 35th anniversary being celebrated this year, we decided to do a Legend of Zelda tier list for the mainline games. So no Hyrule Warriors, no fucking trash ass crossbow training, no fucking Cadence of Hyrule, no CDI or whatever the fuck that shit is. That trash ass CDI game. Again,
great.
It'll be mostly just the mainline stuff. So, and most of us here are huge Zelda fans. I know I am.
Yes,
Jay,
sir.
obviously, it's in Jay's name. We got special guest Melodic, who's also a big, Legend of Zelda fan. We got him in. Lily's back for this episode. She, we hope she would never come back, but she's back because, she has to defend a certain game that we'll go into later.
So. Come on, I want.
True. But, yeah, I don't know where Cluis is and Will. They're probably doing something. If they join, they join. But yeah.
Yeah, here comes the one non-Zelda fan coming in.
Here's the one Zelda fan who's going to probably talk about Mario Kart 8.
But without a doubt. And the fact that Breath of the Wild, you have motorcycles, that goes to the S tier,
It's not on the list, William. Shut up.
Yeah, there's no Mario Kart. Dude, it's only
Breath of the Wild
Zelda
is in the list. What the fuck are you talking about, Richard?
He's talking about Breath of the Wild. All right, but yeah, we'll be doing a tier list. This might be interesting. We're gonna try and keep it not long because everyone's very opinionated on Zelda in there. Yeah, but before we start, I know a few of us have been playing Skyward Sword HD, and I kind of want to get everyone's impressions the second time around playing this game. And let's go with our guests. Melodic, I know you played it on stream yesterday. How you liking Skyward Sword HD a second time around?
Okay, so Skyward Sword HD, right now I haven't played too much of it. I'm 2.5 hours in. I'm in Farron Woods right now, mainly just because I played the original release, so I figured I'd take the HD release and try to make it a full playthrough on a live stream and just see what I remember and kind of give my impressions as I go through the game the second time live. And one thing I will say is that 60 frames per second looks really smooth in this game. I wish they kind of did more with the polygonal work because really, if you look at it, it is the same Wii game, but up-res to 1080p. It's not like Twilight Princess where they redid some of the texture work. It's not like Wind Waker where they changed some of the lighting around. So I'm kind of with everybody where it's like, yes, you could, play this game 4K on Dolphin and all that other junk. But the 60 frames per second on console really does kind of help bring this game, I wouldn't say to the next gen, but like to the 8th gen, I guess you can say. Overall, I'm enjoying it, but it leads a little bit more to be desired in terms of like feature set. I'm not going to lie about that, but I'm a Zelda fan, so I knew I was going to pick it up. For everybody else, I can understand why they're waiting on it.
Yeah. How about you, George? I know you were playing it last night. How do you feel about Skyward Sword HD from what you played so far?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and sorry, I was gonna say like streaming the game, I didn't get a chance to play with the button layout just because I kind of knew even from the trailer that I was gonna play this game with motion controls. Because on the Wii version, I had no issues with the motion controls. I actually liked them in certain scenarios, but I am interested in trying the button controls out. I think it would be a little bit weird to swing the sword with the joystick though, instead of just doing the one-to-one motions and whatnot. But even like the motion controls on the Switch version, I was kind of having a little bit of of a problem yesterday. Yes, centering everything's a lot faster than laying your Wii remote down on the table. But I think part of that might be because of a lack of a sensor bar, or because I was like sitting at the desk playing the game.
That was one of the knocks on the game for the HD was that you had to center. You had to press the centering button way too much. Every time you literally bring out like one of your projectile weapons to aim, it literally like the crosshair goes to the right or automatically to the left. So you literally have to press center after every shot. From a few reviews I've seen. But
because dowsing, every time I had to go douse in that game from where I'm at right now, I've had to recenter the cursor every single time.
My thing with I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead, Jay.
Please hear me out. Please listen to me. The 60 frames a second. I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm saying is it's shocking to see it run like that when you
Well, this guy was gonna say it was weird, but he was saying it all day.
It's weird seeing it because you're so used to seeing it
60 frames per second is not weird, bro. I don't know.
Oh my god,
I don't get that.
That's not what I'm saying. Is weird.
You just said it's weird.
Last time I played it, it was less. Is what I'm trying to say. Like it's shocking.
60 frames per second weird, bro. I don't get that.
We've established that he's a Switch bitch. They're not used to that many frames.
Jesus Christ, bro. All I'm saying is, last time I played the game, it was less. So see this, like we're like, oh shit, bro. It's like moving. It's 60 frames. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. God fucking damn it. The motion controls, bro. I agree with Melodic. When I played it, I played it sitting down. I know Prez, he played it standing up or something. I was able to play it. I was able to play it sitting down. Like you didn't have to really be dramatic with the controls on the Wii version.
Bro, I wasn't even being dramatic, and the motion controls are still fucking ass.
I'm just saying, like some people like you actually got to stand up and hold your arm all the way. You didn't. You just had to point the Wii remote in the air. I do agree. Like I think it's hard to center the stuff because it's no motion bar. And then when shit really got out of hand, like Malik said, you sat it on a table and centered it. You know? So I really want to I want to play it with the motion controls because I know TG said he likes them. I think because I played it with the motion controls at the beginning, the actual button controls take some getting used to. Having to constantly hold the L button. Because if you don't, if your habit is using the R3 to move the camera, and you accidentally pull the sword out every time, so having a whole L is kind of weird. But you got to get used to it. The right stick, I call it R3. The right stick.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna actually defend the button layout. I think Nintendo did a good job with what they could, with what they had with the controller. The only thing that's honestly bad about it is holding the left button, the left bumper, and the right stick at the same time with the camera. We're so spoiled nowadays with having, just flicking the stick to move the camera for any game. You know what I mean? That now, the fact that we have to hold a button, so kind of sucks. But overall, I feel like the button layout, button controls is pretty good. You flick the stick right, he swings the sword right. You flick the right stick left, he swings left, diagonal. Up, down.
But with the diagonal, you gotta start it up and go down. Though you gotta start it up and go. You can't just go diagonal down.
You can. I've been playing it for 6 hours, Jay. Today, bro. I played it for 6 hours today, Jay. And then you just flick it diagonally, and he literally just swings it diagonally. You know what I mean? Is it gonna be accurate all the time? No. I also using the bird. Fuck, I forgot the bird. The sky. What are they called?
Loft wings.
Loft wings. When you use the loft wings, the controls are so much easier on a controller. Even controlling the beetle.
I had a question about the beetle.
Controlling the beetle, so much easier, dude. Just using the fucking the left stick to control the fucking beetle, dude. And moving around where you gotta. Yeah,
I'm gonna agree with Prez because the Loftwing controls on motion control are still ass.
So I had a question then about the controls.
The balancing on the tight ropes, so much easier with the left stick, dude. You know what I mean? So there's some knockbacks with the camera. And sometimes, maybe swinging the right stick, sometimes it doesn't, doesn't make the swings all the time, but it's good enough, I think. So I'm glad because one of my knockbacks for the original Skyward Swords, I hate the motion controls. I hate motion controls, period. I think it's a gimmick. I don't like fucking flicking sticks. I don't like looking like I was gonna say something. I don't like looking like an idiot waving around a fucking wand or a fucking, you know what I mean, a Joy-Con. Even if you're sitting down, you're still making motions, looking like a stupid idiot. You know what I mean? So I enjoy the button controls, and I'm gonna stick with it. I'm not touching the motion controls. But go ahead, Lily. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just wanting to ask you a question about the camera controls, because in Skyward Sword and with 3D Zelda games at the time, most of the time when you were controlling the camera, you'd either press the Z button or the L button to just have the camera snap behind you.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I'm just wondering why it's necessary to have a free roaming camera in that game when that style of camera is what's designed for the game. Like why is that a big deal?
I think it's because the stick is used for the different sword swings. Like if you could just press a button and Link swings the sword, it would have been different. But because the right stick is being used to do the spinning attack, do the Slayer, all that, like the stick is taken up, so you can't use it as a camera.
I guess my point is the original game didn't have
that
camera controls anyway. It would just have the Z button, just have the camera snap behind you.
Which is true, but that game was that's 10 years ago, dude. You know what I mean? So now it's the fact we're so used to having games where the right stick on any controller is how you move the camera. So going back into an older game and not be able to fucking move the camera. I mean, you can now when you hold the L bumper. You know what I mean? You can move the camera, but I don't know. It takes some time getting used to. We're spoiled when it comes to games nowadays because back then, bro, we had only one joystick or one control stick on the N64. You know what I mean? So of course you would just press Z all the time on fucking Ocarina of Time to reset the camera, center the camera to where you are.
Also, Lily. In the game, ZL and ZR are taken up by
What are they taken up by?
ZR is the pouch, I think, and ZL is what? What is ZL?
I forgot what ZL is. Yeah, targeting, the lock on.
Yeah, so that should be the button that snaps the camera behind you then.
Yeah,
I don't know what
the game too. That's also your Z targeting.
It lines up behind you when there's an enemy near. So when you press Z, boop, and then you're behind you. But overall, I don't know. It
doesn't.
You
just
have
snap.
to play it to understand. To understand how it moves. It's definitely a little weird, but you get used to it. Like me, I just hold the L button when I'm not when I'm not in combat. I hold the L button, and just run, and then just fucking flick the stick wherever I gotta go, left or right.
Would you say the camera's worse from the original game?
Not really, because you can actually move the camera even if you gotta hold the button.
I think is better. Most controls, I think, is better.
Yeah, I don't know. For those early style 3D Zelda games, I'd probably
We just gotta get used to it. Like I said, this game was motion control only when we played it, so all of us are going off motion controls and how easy it was with the camera and motion controls. Once there
was no camera in the original one though. There was no camera in the original.
Yeah, that is the one thing I do like about the motion controls though is the free camera integration.
Once I just put 6 hours in it like Prez, then maybe I'd be like to say, oh man, it's way easier.
Yeah. So the only advantage the motion controls have for the Switch version is like I said, the right stick actually you don't have to hold L to move the camera with the right stick. You just use the right stick because how you do your combats, you swing the I keep saying nunchuck, dude. the Joy-Con up, down, left, right. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. I think personally, Nintendo did what they could have done to make put buttons on it. Because you also gotta remember now the Switch is portable. So if you were to play Skyward Sword, you have to use the button controls. And apparently they're in portable mode. It's kind of rough from what I've heard.
I want to say this too, and then we can go ahead and get started.
Tabletop mode.
We can go ahead and get started. I wish you could map buttons, but I know that's like the new school shit, and it's like we spoiled being able to put a button here.
No, they should have allowed mapping.
Yeah, but that was a suggestion from the Digital Foundry review. They said what they could have done was have the right stick on the controls to move the camera, but you have to hold L to swing the sword. So you know what I mean? That probably could have been better.
I think that would have been better. Or you aim at enemies anyway, only let you swing the sword when you hold in ZL.
Yeah.
That's just... You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even when fighting enemies, you gotta be accurate on some of that.
Yeah.
But overall, I mentioned this on Twitter and I mentioned this in our Discord. I'm actually surprisingly enjoying this game more than my original playthrough.
Now, game, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, and like I said, I like Skyward Sword, but there's just so much things back then that I just like good game, but I don't know. You know what I mean? It's definitely not my favorite. I'm actually really enjoying it now. Maybe it's because I just haven't played a mainline Zelda game in so long time that I'm just like that shit hitting right now. But overall, I'm having a good time with it, and I'm sure everyone else will. And with that being said, we'll start our tier list. And you want to go in order on that list, or do you
Might
want
as
to just
well.
start
Might as
picking?
But it's a weird order though.
It is weird,
Yeah,
but
it's in a
still,
weird order, right?
let's just do it in order. Let's just do it in order, like how it is. I feel like it'd be easier instead of going by release. Okay, Zelda 1, 2, that's God tier.
God
For sure.
tier.
No,
Yes, Link
Top
Between
tier.
Worlds, God tier.
top tier. That's
I'm gonna say top tier for
bro.
it.
You guys already starting all bad, bro. Everything's
Nope.
gonna be in God
Nope.
tier by the fucking
Nope.
end of this
No,
fucking
it
stream.
won't.
Should we
Dude,
go
it
by
won't.
game release?
We can
Game
do
release?
that, but we can do that.
Do you want to do Zelda 1, Zelda 2, and stuff like that then?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
let's
do
do
that.
that.
Dude, Zelda 1 and
Okay,
Go
okay.
from
Oh,
there.
that's easy. Trash tier.
Original
Okay,
Zelda.
Well, let's discuss each one
Oh,
before
yeah.
we go on. So the first Legend of Zelda game, I have an unpopular opinion about it. I actually really like the NES version of Zelda. The downside is this game is very archaic because it was the first game in the franchise. So a lot of the stuff that we know from future 2D Zelda games isn't going to be incorporated in. There's not a whole lot of story unless you read the NES manual. Link runs in an up, down, left, right direction. There's no diagonal, walking cycle or anything
you have
like
to
that.
rent your items.
Very bare bones.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
to buy
yeah.
and rent the
No.
items.
No, we're talking
You
about
have to
Zelda
buy that-
1, Jay.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Zelda 1.
Yeah, you have to buy the items.
You have to
you
buy
have
the
to-
items.
Yeah, you
And-
You have to
Yeah.
go find rupees in order to buy the items. You got to
Yeah, yeah.
burn certain bushes. To get sword upgrades, you have to have a certain number of heart containers. You have to go out of your way to find the dungeons and all that sort of stuff. And it's fun in the sense where it's like, it really is kind of just like just a very like open world game when you look at it in a 1986
I want to
perspective.
say too, without the manual, I feel like it's kind of unplayable.
Yeah, you need, in order to play
You
this game,
need
you
the
either
manual.
need like the
The
Nintendo
manual.
Power Guide
Or a
or
guide
you need
game.
the map. So that's, I would probably put it in mid tier personally because it does require a guide in order to play.
I agree with
It's,
mid tier.
it's by no means a bad name. So I
Yeah,
would-
I agree with mid tier as well.
Trash tier.
I'm gonna be real. This isn't the Zelda game. Like I played this Zelda game before, but this isn't the one Zelda game that made me fall in love with the series. I've tried playing it multiple times on NES as a kid. I even bought the GBA one. I think it was on GBA, right? Like it's just like one of those NES classic
Yeah.
GBA games. That was like
Yeah.
$10-$20. Tried playing it again on GBA. I'm not a big fan of it. It's way too retro for me. I'm gonna say trash tier.
It's archaic. Nah.
Oh,
you can't
trash?
say that.
Even- not
you
even
can't
low?
not say trash tier. No.
Why would you say
I-
low tier, George? Yeah, and
Yeah.
so in the American version, it was the first game to have the battery backup save, whereas in Japan they had the Famicom disk system, so everything saved onto the. I think it was the RAM of the disk system itself.
Can I rebuttal George's?
No,
what
you're
George is
you're not
saying?
muted. We can hear you.
Yeah. Can I rebuttal what George is saying?
I think he's muted on the stream.
Oh, okay.
He's mute on the stream. Oh shit.
Oh no!
How about?
Can anyone else hear us?
I think y'all can. No, I didn't hear you guys. I think I'm good now. So basically,
Okay.
so I'll just reiterate what I said.
Quick. Yeah.
Basically, I'm saying I think it should be low tier because even though it is archaic, it did start a lot of things that we kind of see today.
Uh-huh.
So go ahead, Jay. What you gonna rebuttal?
I want to say is you can't say it's low tier.
Yeah.
For this is
Yes,
the
you
game.
can.
This guy's gonna
no.
want every fucking Zelda game not low tier.
No.
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
No,
Go ahead, let him get his piece up.
This one seriously, you can't say this is low tier because this game is the reason why you can say more than 30% of the fans are here because of this game. It's archaic to us, but when it came out, it was revolutionary.
So are we judging
Correct.
games based on when they came out, or
No,
just how we feel about them?
This is our opinions now. You can't
this is
just
our
judge it on
opinions. Yeah, we make for sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
come on, Jay.
No, this is a group thing. So I'm giving my opinion why it shouldn't be low tier, and we all decide.
Okay.
Like, yeah, but you're
George
trying to bring
said-
other people.
Can
Like
I
you say,
go?
No,
go ahead,
for sure. So, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you can't say that. When the game came out, it did what it had to do. Story wise, free roam wise. I mean, we just seen Breath of the Wild is loosely based off.
That's what I
freeness.
meant when I said like you saw like some things that
Yeah.
were introduced back then. You kind of still see them now.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is that even though it did it first, I'm gonna say, bro, like it's still not fun to play.
Yeah.
And
Even
that's-
though I haven't beaten it,
I
I haven't
agree.
beaten it. I haven't beaten it.
Yeah.
So I have to say that. I just think it's mid tier. I don't think it's because if we put this as low tier, we're gonna put a lot of shit above it. Shit that shouldn't be above it, in my opinion. That's just me.
Can I go next?
go
yeah,
ahead,
go
go ahead,
ahead,
Lily.
That's just me.
Okay,
That's just me.
so I'm hearing both arguments and I can see both sides, and I have two answers, but I'll pick one of the two. So, for people who go into this game, no guide, just kind of not knowing what they're doing with it, not really know what to expect, probably going to be low tier. Like, especially if you've played other Zelda games before, probably going to be low tier. However, from my perspective, if you're going in, knowing what you're getting yourself into, knowing that it's going to be a little archaic, knowing that you're probably going to need to have a tab open on GameFAQs, if you have all that stuff up and going, I'm going to go mid tier. It's still an enjoyable game.
Can I
to play.
rebuttal what Lily is saying?
Yep.
If you need an external thing to enjoy a game, it's not good.
Not good.
Yeah, but
And
George, a
agree
lot
with
of
that.
NES games, even with like the old like Final Fantasies and
I also
RPGs
feel like-
at that time, you needed those guides. So Zelda wasn't the only one.
I'm not saying it wasn't the only
don't think-
one. I'm just saying that's just game design from back then.
And-
it's
Oh
not
yeah, I
good.
mean that's understandable though.
Can
It's not
I-
like
can
we
I-
have-
Can I
Yeah, go
rebuttal that we're judging these games based on the game and not the extra material that goes with it?
Yeah, off the game. Yes.
Exactly, just the game.
Yeah.
I mean, great. The Nintendo Power and all that helped you out, sure. But
I also-
go ahead.
I also feel you guys are being a little too lenient towards it because this is the start of one of our favorite video game franchises ever. Like this is the start. Just because this is the first one, it's still not. To me personally, it's just not as good as people make it out to be, man. I don't know.
Here's
man.
one
Like I
thing
said,
I have up on you, young,
Yeah.
you
Hold up,
young
one at a
kids
time.
here.
this isn't
One at a time.
like I said. I feel like everyone's just being more lenient towards it or giving it like, oh no, this is the first one, so it has to be mid tier. No, I mean, just because it's the first one
I
doesn't mean
wouldn't put it at mid tier if I didn't enjoy it a little bit. I honestly do feel like I get enjoyment out of playing this game. It's when you're on the overworld, it definitely feels like you're kind of just doing stuff, and then things happen, and you kind of have to know where things are. But like when you go into the dungeons are actually you don't really need guides for the dungeons. Like
The dungeons
The
are
overworld. Just
Yeah.
the overworld.
yeah,
only-
they're just
the only
figuring
time
out the
you need a-
overworld is
The only time you need a guide for a dungeon is the very end of the game because that labyrinth is so huge and Ganon's in a certain room and you have to like figure out
Zelda
where to
1,
go.
Dink. We're talking about Zelda 1 right now.
Okay, so I say we vote
Riku
over
was
here.
like, all Zelda games are god tier, no debate needed.
You're welcome. That's the end of
Hey,
the.
Riku, I know you're from.
also
I know you're from.
reiterate, too,
Erica
I still
Streams. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thank you. No, but I also want to preface this too because I do want to take in consideration the impact that this game had and the culture around this game. It wasn't just.
yeah.
Wait. Let me finish.
Okay.
Okay. So the culture around this game, it wasn't just get Nintendo Power to win. It was when this game was brand new, you had people swapping secrets about this game. Like, hey, did you know you can bomb a like right on this rock in the corner of this ridge of this one screen, and it'll open up the cave so you can buy potions from this lady. But you need to get the letter from the old lady. Does anyone know where that is? And maybe another person will raise their hand, like, "Oh yeah, I know where the letter is." And like you swap secrets. There was something about this game where it kind of reminds me of Breath of the Wild, where like a lot of people would just be like, "Hey, did you find this one heart container? Let me tell you where it is." Like there was like this whole thing surrounding this game. Yeah, it's kind of lost, and it's like you have to look up game facts to get the result of that. But I don't think that's. I think that should be at least in somewhat consideration to saying what this game. I got to experience at least a little bit of what this game was like when it was first released, and there was something kind of special about it. I'm not gonna lie.
I say we vote on it then.
So
I think we're gonna vote on it. I'll switch mine up. You want to go, Richard? Before
I was gonna say I'm keeping mine in trash tier, and I see where Lily's coming from, but a lot of us didn't grow up in that era, so we haven't experienced that. And I put in trash tier because I played other 2D Zeldas before that one.
So right, so
it's just more opinionated. Yeah,
I had a standard before playing that one, and
right.
Going back to that one, it was
the fact that you played better ones before Zelda 1. Yeah, it made it look worse.
So Richard's trash tier. I'm gonna my final vote. I'm gonna stick with trash tier because, like I said, this isn't the Zelda game that made me fall in love with the series, and I've tried going back to it multiple times and trying to get a second opinion on it, and it just doesn't click with me. Yeah, I'm 32. I know that's around my time. This game was out 85, 86 maybe.
86.
Was it 85 or 86? 86. I wasn't even born yet, but I tried playing it like when I was 8 or 9. You know what I mean? So it's just like I tried, it didn't click. I'm gonna keep it in trash tier as well.
I'm gonna just say mid tier.
I'll say low tier still.
Yeah, I'm going mid tier.
Just my final argument for going into this thing. When it comes to retro games like this, especially like way before my time, because this game literally came out 10 years before I was born. Like, I played other 2D and 3D Zeldas before playing Zelda NES. I played it on the Virtual Console, actually. And like I said, yeah, so many other 2D Zelda games do it so much better. But I still enjoyed this one, just kind of going back to see where the origins of the series is. I'm going to go with mid-tier, and the reason why, and that's going to probably segue into the next game, is because Zelda 2, I think, should be on low tier.
So there's three mid,
three mid, two trash, and one low.
One low. So
mid tiers.
What do you think of Zelda 1?
Will, I know you don't really play Zelda, so what do you think of Zelda 1? Just give us some kind of vote.
Can you put it where it says trash tier for me? Thank you.
Oh, let's go.
Mid-tier. So that's 3-3.
So hang on, do you
think
that?
Because George said low tier.
I said
low
tier.
But it's still tied 3-3.
Oh, it's tied. Okay, you're right.
Do you think that averages out into low tier?
Yeah.
Hey!
Low tier.
It has to. It averages out.
So we'll put it in the middle then. Low tier.
Yeah, low tier. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right.
Second one.
Fair. I think that's a fair assessment. I think for most people, it's gonna be a low tier game.
So
on my list, I put Zelda 2 right next to Zelda 1, so it has to go to low tier in my opinion.
So you say low tier.
The Zelda 1 is there.
I'm gonna say Zelda 2 is in trash tier.
Trash tier.
Yep.
Absolute garbage.
What are you reasoning? I need to know your reasonings behind this. Why?
So
it's a side scroller. It's a fucking side scroller. That's not Zelda. Same with fucking Zelda 1. I've tried playing it multiple times. Doesn't click with me. Game's fucking trash.
Yeah.
Trash tier. So fucking. Go ahead, Lily. I know you want to defend this. So
all right, Lily's gonna defend it.
I'm going last.
You want to go last?
Okay. Go ahead.
Richard, go ahead.
Bro, dude, this game is fucking trash tier, dude.
So we got 3 trash tiers.
That
trashes.
That overworld is so fucking ugly.
It's ugly.
And the final boss is fucking ass. You sit in the corner and you stab his kneecaps till he dies. That's
brilliant
the boss.
Game design, bro.
Dude, fuck that game.
It has decent music, but overall, yeah, it's just...
Yeah, the music is good. I agree. The music is actually good, but...
It's just...
And It was the first game to bring Dark Link, but it's
Dark
still
Link, yeah. I think it was the first game that had Death Mountain, if I'm not mistaken.
In
Yeah.
Mountain, yeah.
But other than that, yeah.
How about you, Melodic?
Zelda 2 is really weird. I wouldn't say it's a trash game, but it's definitely low tier.
Low tier.
Because back at the time, like I said, Zelda was a new franchise, so they were trying to figure out their bearings with it. So, they tried going to a 2D side scroller, make it like an action RPG.
They should have tried
First time the first time I played this game, my grandmother actually gifted me the Game Boy Classics version of Zelda 2. And I was like, dude, this is really weird for a Zelda game. And then I figured out how hard that game is. And like it's another one of those games where you need a guide in order to play it, but even with that, it's still
Disagree.
hard. Like
Disagree with that.
Well, let me finish before we get into all that. Cuz like Zelda 2 is still very much a non-linear game. The overworld is definitely ugly. I wouldn't say it's a bad game, but it is the only Zelda home console game I have not beaten for a reason.
It's unnecessarily hard,
here.
bro. It's unnecessarily hard.
Yeah, I think Castlevania is easier than this.
Yeah.
So, what would you put it in the tier list?
I'm gonna put it on low tier.
Man, bro, put it in trash, dog.
I mean,
it's
mechanically it's not a bad game though.
Yeah, well, Lily's going last, so go ahead, Jay.
Okay, so I want to say, Zelda 2. I agree. The overworld is fucking terrible. I did like the sort of kind of like, is it a level up system? Like I probably played.
No,
like,
there was a level up system.
Yeah.
like 20 hours of it, and I feel like I've stayed in the same spot, bro. Like I haven't beaten this game either. But I did like the level that it, like the sort of kind of level. It was like a level up system or something, right?
It had RPG elements too.
Yeah, Link leveled up. Like I like that. Overworld fucking suck. I think the overall art style of the game is just fucking terrible,
ass.
bro. It was ass, dog. Like, and then he was jumping like Mario and shit. Like, I don't know, bro.
Riku said
his sword was so tiny too.
It
I
was.
still have it, yeah, and the range of the sword was kind of. I still have it. That's just my dislikes.
Riku said, "Who hits you people with a 2x4? It's God tier." Nah.
I still think
up.
I still put it next to Zelda 1 though.
And also,
If Zelda 1 is low tier, I have to put Zelda 2 as low tier.
also,
I don't
like,
care.
there was
I don't
like
think it's a trash game.
two Zeldas in that game, wasn't there? There were two. Like that game really fucked up the whole thing, bro. Because it was the first.
Spoiling there for me, bro.
It was the only game that had two Zeldas in it, bro.
Yeah, I put low tier. I agree with Melodic. I put low tier. I put it if Zelda 1 was mid tier, I would have had to fight for it. But I just think Zelda 1 and 2 are like the same game, kind of, sort of, in my opinion. That's all.
This guy trashes Zelda 2. It's just, Zelda 1 and 2 are the same game.
No,
This guy does. He refused to throw. It's trash.
No, I don't
dog.
like Zelda. I'll tell you straight up, I don't like Zelda 2. I don't think it's
But you
that
gonna put it
bad.
at low tier? That means it's trash if you don't like it, right?
I don't think it's trash though. I just think the art style fucking sucks. Like I don't think it's trash. Nah, nigga, you know what I think it's trash, nigga.
We'll get to
Everybody stand the cap emo in for Jay, bro. Captain, bro. He knows that game. How you not gonna like a game, but they say it's not trash, bro?
Bro, like I said,
drop
bro,
some
I
caps in the-
really like when you said do
caps
this.
in the fucking
When you
chat,
said,
bro.
bro, when you
it's
said
been
do this
45
tier list,
minutes
bro,
that we did two
like in all seriousness, when you said we was doing this tier list, bro, I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this serious, bro.
All right.
I did my shit. I did my
Okay.
research when I went back to it. I was like, okay.
We'll go. What do you think about? Give us the vote for Zelda 2. I know you haven't played Zelda 2, so go ahead.
Okay, so
Why is William even here, bro?
He's a part of the podcast,
I bring
dude.
a unique perspective of Zelda games. Okay,
no one who's played them.
No, I know. I played some of them. Don't worry, don't
played
worry.
some, he
And I
hasn't played all
completed
of
2 of them. Don't worry about that too. Second of all, most people don't even know Zelda 2 existed. So do you know where that's gonna go? Trash tier.
Yeah.
You know what?
Or
You know what?
trash.
That's why William's here to put Zelda 2 in trash tier.
All right. So it's in trash tier, but
Go ahead, Lily.
Go ahead, Lily.
Go ahead, Lily. Yeah, real quick.
Did everyone else go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You're all fucking wrong, by the way. Just saying. Everyone here is wrong. This game deserves to be in top tier. It's not God tier. Of course not. But
Here?
just
Zelda 2?
yes.
Top
Yes!
tier? Huh?
It's on my top
Pull it
5
out.
favorite Zelda
Pull it
games.
out.
Just because it's
Yo,
different.
let
No,
Lily
bro, Lily,
explain.
you can never come back.
All right, guys, have a good
Just
night.
because
I'm
this
just gonna
game's
go.
different doesn't mean it's trash.
Oh, okay.
I like the fact that there's an
I
RPG.
agree with her on this. I agree
I-
with Lily on this.
Yeah, I like the fact that there's an experience point system and that you have like kind of customization of what stats you want to level up when you do level up. I like the fact that there are spells. I like the fact that the game is difficult. It's hard, but it's like good Nintendo hard. Like, you feel like it's a fucking triumph whenever you get past something. Once you figure out like the patterns of the Iron Knuckles after you face them for the first time, and like some of the bosses, and just like the dungeons. The dungeons are so good. Like, they're not like, you know, puzzle heavy. This game is all about combat and like how to face stuff. Like whenever you fight certain enemies, like learning their patterns. It's hard but fair. It is a great game. It's very different from any other Zelda game. I want them to come back to this style at some point, do another Zelda 2 style Zelda game, but obviously it's not popular enough. This game's top tier. And I disagree with Melodic saying that you need a guide for this game. No, fuck that shit.
Damn.
Like, talk to the people in town. They'll fucking tell you what to do. This isn't like Zelda 1 where
I am
you...
error.
Talk to I am error.
I am
What a
error.
god.
He tells you, he points you in the right direction.
How many of us have beaten Zelda 2? I have.
I have.
I did.
You beat it? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That's how I know the final boss is ass.
Oh, that's true.
But
Well, then
Lily
don't
does have a
fucking
point,
fight the boss
though.
that way. Like, you know, just like fucking fight it the proper way. Don't cheese it, and you'll actually find that the boss is actually challenging and an interesting boss fight.
All right. So what
Okay.
would you give? What would you give it then?
You said
Top tier.
It's top tier. It's top tier. It's a great game.
So the final verdict is that Zelda 2 is
Trash tier.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go over the final ratings
Yeah.
first.
But that top tier vote has to move it up.
No,
It
because
doesn't?
there's more trash.
We only moved the last one because it was tied. That's why.
Yeah. So 4 trash tier, 2 lows,
One top.
what god or top tier. It's going in the trash, guys.
All
Sorry.
right. George already put in trash. Let's not make him work any harder than that.
Okay.
As Lily was talking, I was like, I'm
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I will say though that just because that game in particular was different does not mean it's automatically trash. That's
No,
why I
no,
would.
it doesn't automatically mean
No,
it's good
on
either.
it.
No, it's not because it's a 2D side scroller. It's because it's a bad 2D side scroller.
Yeah. It's not even good. All right, guys. We gotta move
There's
on.
a reason why Nintendo never went back to that.
What's the next game? What released after that?
Link to the
Past.
Past. That is top tier.
Top tier. Absolutely fucking amazing game.
Yep.
Fucking
think-
beat it on Super Nintendo. I beat it on fucking GBA. You know, when the GBA had the sound effects.
Yeah.
When you swing the sword.
Yeah.
Fantastic game. That's all I need to say. I mean, fucking, go ahead.
I also
Whoever
feel
wants
like
to go.
it's top tier. I feel like we all agree that this is top tier game. So I
Yeah.
feel like we shouldn't spend that much time on it.
I don't.
What?
I think it's god tier.
I think it's God tier also.
Oh, man, dude. God tier's only for one Zelda game, guys.
All right. Okay. So Jay, you say top tier, right?
I'll say top tier.
Prez, you say top tier.
I say top tier.
I say top tier. Richard says god tier. Lily says
God
god
tier.
tier. Or what about you, Melodic? What do you think?
So I originally experienced A Link to the Past again on Game Boy Advance. It was another Christmas gift for my grandmother, and yeah, it had the Young Link sound effect in there.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah.
I actually beaten this game on the Wii Virtual Console during high school, actually, because one of my best friends in high school, he was big into like Nintendo games and stuff. So we were always like playing these old Super Nintendo games and whatnot. And I actually did 100% beat A Link to the Past, and I think depending on who you ask, this game is definitely god tier because even to this day, it is still one of the premier 2D Zelda games.
It's a toss
I'm personally going to go with top tier because I think some of the later 2D Zelda games that we'll get
are
to
better.
Yeah.
exactly.
can outrank it, but I wouldn't
Exactly,
be mad if this is god tier.
No, I disagree.
I'm tilting between god tier and top tier.
So you're more top tier?
Yep. Top
Yeah,
tier
I
one.
think
Top tier.
I'll tell you why I would put it top tier once we get to the next game.
Some of the
Will-
later games are just better, bro.
William, what do you think, bro?
Go ahead, give us a vote, Will.
All right, so since it has a very infamous Easter egg, I'm gonna put it top tier.
Okay.
Okay. So I
Go
guess,
ahead and put Link to the Past top tier.
Top tier, then. Yep. All right.
All right.
Next one.
This next
was
game.
Link's Awakening, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Game Boy one.
I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say. I hate to say this. I like Link's Awakening, but it's not my favorite. So I'm gonna say mid tier. You know, it's just I don't know. And then the remake was cool, but like I didn't like the art style of the remake, so I didn't really. I have a special edition. I just never played it. You know, I don't know. I'm just gonna stick with mid for this one.
I'm gonna say this is where my list, like, where I actually had to sit and think about it, bro. I think Link's Awakening is low tier, bro.
Wow.
I've beaten Link's Awakening, bro.
Wow.
Man,
I mean it does some things well. The story is okay. You know, like some of the dungeons, I just think it's low tier, bro. I think this is one of the most overhyped Zelda games. Is Link's Awakening. In my opinion. Yes. I don't think it is as good as people make it out to be.
Okay, so you go low tier?
Don't. I'm going low tier. I don't think it deserved the chibi art style remake, bro. Honestly, that's just me.
Richard,
Bro, they could have fucking chibi art style fucking Link to the Past or fucking something other than fucking Link's Awakening, bro. That's just me though. I'm gonna go low tier for it.
Go ahead, Rich.
I gotta agree with Jay. I gotta say low tier on this one.
Ooh, man.
I'm saying low tier because yeah. I mean,
What the fuck?
yeah, it's
You're
low tier.
nuts.
Damn.
What? No.
Look, we're gonna let Will go because I'm sure Will hasn't played this, and we're gonna have George be the one to decide where it goes on the tier list.
And
So
I
go
gotta
ahead,
say
Will.
my
I know-
piece on it.
Oh, did you? I thought you already said something. Oh yeah, you too. Okay, so Will,
Not
go
yet.
ahead, son. Yeah.
I kind
Go
of
ahead,
like
Will.
the last one because I bring no perspective to these games.
No, you're gonna go now because you don't. The later Zelda games, you'll have an opinion. Because I know you said you played a few of the later ones. He's the only one on the podcast who's not really a big Zelda fan. Like he likes it, but he's not like.
Is this the
he's
one
not-
where it came out on Switch and looks like Play-Doh and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talking about the original game. We talking about the
He said
Hold on. We're not talking about the chibi version, right? Are we talking about the OG? We talking about the OG Link's Awakening. We're not talking about the new one, the remake, right?
I mean, it's the same game, bro.
I mean, if he
But the
It's
remake
the
has
same
the
game.
dungeon creator. The remake has a dungeon creator.
Yeah,
and
but
shit like that.
Will
That's
doesn't care
Jay.
about
That
that.
dungeon creator was trash. No one played that game.
I
for
forgot-
years.
It's low tier, bro.
I forgot it
It's
had
low
it.
tier. It's
Yeah.
low tier.
No.
So William
Yes.
says trash tier.
Trash tier.
Melodic.
Go,
What do you think?
Molana, go ahead.
I would say this is more along the lines of top tier. I think it's a really good game. And I'm also a fan of the remake. I don't mind the art style. I thought the game looked excellent for a remake of a Zelda game from back 20 years ago. And every Zelda game has had their own unique art style, so this is kind of going along with that list. I like the item trade sequence. I like the Mario Easter eggs that are in this game. And yeah, I'm going to go with top tier for this one.
Okay, so with that, 2 top tiers.
And on top of that, you can this was one of the games back on the Game Boy version where you didn't even have to equip your sword. You can equip 2 different items, and with that you can equip the Pegasus boots and then with the feather to allow you to run and jump and do all the platform segments and all that stuff. And that was one of the things I like about that one.
Okay, so that's what? 2 top, 1 mid, 2
Too
low.
I didn't,
One
I didn't go
trash.
yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
you didn't go, Liz?
we calculated them so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lily, I
So,
thought you did go. I thought you said top
George-
tier.
Yeah,
No.
I did say top tier, but I didn't give my reasons why.
Okay.
I just think it's
Go ahead, go ahead.
So just in case if anyone wants to, like, if I persuade anyone to bump up their votes a little bit,
You won't.
okay. I do like a lot of the Mario references, like Melodic said, but like also just like this game was like eerie. Like there's a lot of like really interesting themes in this game about like. Can I say the spoiler of the game?
Yep.
If you didn't play it, it's people's fault. Go ahead and spoil it.
Yeah,
It's an old-ass
with
game.
Koholint Island basically being a dream of the sleeping windfish, and when you
I
wake up,
love that.
literally everything disappears. It's like something out of fucking Twin Peaks. It's so strange. Like this very like ambiguous ending of like Link kind of like floating in the middle of the sea on like some driftwood or whatever. Like, does he live? Like, probably, I guess. But it's like but like, you know, the dungeon designs are also great. The only downside that I'd say about the game is like the fact that you have to switch items so much with the original game. Like the remake fixes that. So if you want to like play a more refined version, definitely play the remake on Switch. But like, you know, the original game, like having to switch between items constantly because you only had 2 buttons to work with. But other than that, this is a great Zelda game. It's top tier.
I like that they also hint at a romance between Marin and Link in the story at the same time. So it makes the ending kind of a little bit more depressing if you think about it.
Oh, but unless you got the secret ending where it's implied that Marin gets reincarnated as a seagull.
Yeah.
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 Wow, lucky her.
Alright,
She is a sequel.
so it's 2-2-1, right? 2-2-1?
Yeah. So
2 top, 2
I
low, 1 mid?
I would say this game's a mid-tier game. Simply,
No, don't do that.
simply because it does have a lot of positives. You know, I did like the music. Dungeons were okay. I none of them really stick out to me, to be honest. Mario references were okay. I didn't like the switching. I didn't like the fact that it was kind of short too. I mean, it was a Game Boy game, so like it was kind of, you know.
Yeah.
But
Did you know that you can jump on the Goombas to kill them?
yeah, you can do that.
What about the
that's so
Game
great.
Boy Color exclusive dungeon in the DX version
Yeah. There's that too.
to get the defense power up and all that?
Yeah. So it's not it's such an okay Zelda game to me. Like, the story was interesting, but at the same time, I didn't care, if that makes sense. Like,
Okay, Zelda game makes it mid.
yeah, I mean, that's what okay.
But yeah,
is.
that's the most average.
It's an average game to me. It's like the overworld to me. It was just okay. Dungeons didn't really stick out to me. The music was good, but even Zelda 2 had good music. So I mean, that's not really a big thing. And
God.
bosses, I mean, weren't there some bosses taken?
Name me one boss. Name me one memorable boss from that game.
The only one I remember is like that one where you gotta hit its tail. But
You don't remember none, bro. You don't
But
remember
no,
none.
The final boss where you fight the nightmare.
You gotta hit
tail.
tail. That's every Zelda game.
What about the fucking anglerfish? What about that genie that you like had to smash its lamp into a wall and
Lily,
shit?
just because you remember it don't mean nothing.
The anglerfish was cool because that was a very, very easy boss fight though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fair enough, but like the boss,
like nothing.
The bosses, nothing about it really stuck out to me. Like,
it's
bro,
memorable, bro. Nothing about it
it's
is
not memorable, but at the same time, it's not bad either. That's why I think it's just mid tier. It's just.
What about like
I think
the
the
final boss?
it's
where,
just- it's just there.
The nightmare boss was cool. The final boss, that,
Yeah,
shaped
like it
into,
shapeshifts
Ganon in
into a
different
bunch
shapes.
of different like powerful Zelda bosses. Like it shapeshifted into Aghanim at one point and Ganon.
I just
like,
think it took stuff from others that already happened in other Zelda games. It really, and you could say, well, because it was a dream, Link was dreaming and all, but at the same time, like it really didn't. It didn't really offer much on its own.
So we got 2 top, 2 mid, and 2 low. What do we do with this?
And one trash.
And one trash.
And 1 trash.
That's gonna be a hard tiebreaker.
That's a hard one, bro.
Should we come back to that one, or
We should let
what do you think?
Riku. We should let Riku tiebreak.
No.
Yeah, let the chat decide. Let the chat decide.
He's gonna say God. He's gonna say God tier. Or Clueless. What about you? You're part of the podcast.
Yeah,
What-
Clueless.
what
Oh,
would you
Clueless,
put?
what do you
Break the
think
tie,
about
bro.
Link's Awakening? Do you put it in God tier, top tier, mid tier, low tier, or trash tier? Clueless.
Riku said God's here, by the way.
Of course. Of course.
That's why I knew that was a bad idea.
What you think, Clueless? We win on what Clueless think. I personally think, like I said, I think it's
Imagine Clueless
Mid-tier?
says, not
Okay.
you, Fire Blast.
Fire Blast
Okay.
mid tier.
I would, like I said, mid tier just because.
Fuck it. Put it mid tier. Put it mid tier, bro. Put it mid tier. I had it mid tier until I did all my research. I was like, nah, it's not that good, bro. But okay, that's fine. Mid tier is fine.
Coolest is like, bro, I ain't answering, bro. He's like, fuck.
What's next?
The next one? What was after Link's Awakening?
Ocarina of Time.
Oh, God tier.
No, wait. What about the Oracle games?
No, that came after.
That
came
came
after.
after
Okay.
Ocarina.
God tier.
Yeah, just got you. Just put
Well,
it
we
in.
gotta give our
Yeah.
reasons. We can't just like throw them rank on them without
You
discussing
don't
them.
need a reason to have it in God tier.
Also,
Whatever your
melodic.
reason is, it's gonna end up.
This podcast is supposed to end in an hour, bro. So we kind of gotta get through. We kind of gotta get through these, bro.
So,
Hey, I'm
It's
not
not
the one
tier.
interfering like Jay and saying everything has to be on top tier or mid tier, not trash tier.
Yeah, just put it in
Sorry.
God tier.
Ooh, God tier.
All right, I'll
sure.
say. All right, I'll give a quick reason. God tier because it's
summary.
Ocarina of Time. That's why it's God tier, bro. That's why. There you go.
It's the reason why I love video games, bro. It's the reason why my first interaction with video games is Ocarina
It introduced
of
a lot of people into Zelda. They did a 3D Zelda game right the first time they tried it. You know
Alright.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was my first Zelda game.
Let me go. I'm gonna go now. It's
Right.
God tier because it's the greatest fucking game ever made of all time. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, greatest fucking game of all time. I beat it like fucking 500 times. Beat it on 3DS. Beat it on N64. Beat the fucking Master's Quest on the GameCube. Fucking beat it on every single virtual console. That bitch came on Switch. I beat it on fucking Switch. You know what I mean? Beat it on Wii U.
Highest
Greatest
rated game
fucking
of all
Come out for
time.
Switch.
Not for just Zelda's. The Zelda series as a whole. Fucking ever. Greatest game ever. God tier, dude. 10 out
Highest
of 10.
I agree.
rated of all time.
Next. I agree. Next.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
I want to talk,
Oh,
man.
go ahead. Oh, we got an hour left, so we just kind of.
I mean, we got an hour and a half. We'll do 2.5, but yeah, we're gonna have to start speeding up
Okay.
a little bit.
Yeah, just
So-
like
I
I
need to provide my take too.
yeah. Yeah, but like this game, like I know a lot of people will try and say that like this game is just like oh, it's not as good as you remember. The graphics are not good and it's archaic, and it's just like whatever. Like every time this game's brought up or still mentioned, like people, there's still like so much love for this game. Like yeah, there's some dated stuff in it, but who fucking cares? Like
Yeah.
it's
fucking legendary.
It's timeless.
Yeah. It's literally a
Will.
timeless fucking masterpiece, dude. I don't
Go
care
ahead,
what
Will.
anyone fucking says.
Go ahead, William.
I still
Will.
think A Link to the Past is better, but it's still I think this game is
All
still
right, we gotta go to
fucking
Will. We
God.
gotta go to Will.
Oh my
Go to Will.
god.
Go to Will. We gotta go to Will.
All right, William, go ahead.
So, fun fact: this is one of the few Zelda games I actually played, enjoyed, and actually beaten. Like legit, like beat Ganondorf and all that shit. So, I'm gonna put this up at the highest tier possible, which is God tier, for the reason like it built the formula for 90, like for the rest of the Zelda games. Right after this one, it has memorable gameplay, dungeons, fucked out water place. That shit was hard as fuck. You know,
Music.
and that couple that
everything
spins
about it.
at the windmill, 10 out of 10.
Agree.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead,
give
Jay.
my opinion on it. Oh, go
No,
ahead. Jay.
I don't want to go. It's the greatest game ever, bro.
Okay.
God tier.
Go ahead, Melodic.
Right.
My introduction to video games, so that's it.
Here's
ahead.
the thing. Along with Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time was my first game I ever played. I saw my very own grandmother, who gave me the other two Zelda games I mentioned earlier. I saw her beat that game with my very eyes. I beat the game myself. It is such a memorable game. The 3DS version was an amazing remake.
Yep.
But the other 3D Zelda games do stuff a lot better compared to this one. This game is dated in some regards, whether you want to hear it or not. That's why I'm going to go with top tier, because the only way I'm putting this in God tier is that if A Link to the Past is going to go to God tier as well, because arguably those two games make the Zelda franchise known how they are today.
You're right.
100,000%.
I'm going to go with top
I think
tier
most
for
of us,
Ocarina.
most of us are putting it God tier because we have that sentimental value for it. But it's still a amazing.
It's still even if it's
Yeah,
outdated,
still
it's still a
amazing.
fucking absolutely
It's still
fantastic
amazing.
game.
You know,
Yeah,
the-
yeah, we're not denying.
I
No,
know,
the
it's-
top tier is fine, but
Yeah,
it's
for
like it's a timeless masterpiece, no matter what you play it on.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
I'm not big on
Yeah.
playing, replaying a lot of games, except a certain series I love. Legend of Zelda being one of them. Honestly, I can go back in Ocarina of Time right now and fall absolutely in love again, all over again with it. That's how fucking amazing this game is.
Yep.
So it's what?
the only thing I'll say about it, and it's not even a problem with the game, is I just think the N64 controller is ass.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
That's another reason why I don't put it at God tier, because replaying that game on N64 or even on the Virtual Console, it just doesn't feel right. That's why if you're gonna play this, play it on 3DS.
So everyone agrees. I think it's 4-3.
tier. It's God
God
tier.
tier.
Yeah.
George already put it
I've
there,
been
just
having it
kidding.
on God tier. I don't give a fuck
Yeah.
what anybody else said, bro.
That's probably
It been
the
on God
no
tier.
fucking cap, dude.
I will
That's
say,
probably
I
the
will
only
say,
God tier
yeah,
Zelda
yeah.
game, bro.
I will
The fact
say,
that
I will
it's
say
God
with melodic.
tier is God
I will-
tier.
I will say with melodic, I do agree that some people hold A Link to the Past as such high regard that if Ocarina of Time is God tier, Link to the Past has to be God tier. So I understand that.
They
argument.
treat it like 1 and 1A, bro.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, I
So
understand the
honestly,
argument.
I know we probably shouldn't go back and rearrange stuff quite yet until everything's up there, but I could see A Link to the Past going up to God tier as well.
Yeah.
Come
I
on.
understand
If we
that.
decide to go back and
It's
rechange
just-
stuff.
I like
Nah,
that-
we ain't going back to that, bro.
Come on,
Ocarina
y'all.
of Time is only going God tier,
Let's
bro.
do it. Next it.
Next
Next
game.
game.
The
Was it
Oracle.
Majora's Mask? Or is it Oracle
No,
Ages and
Oracle
Seasons?
Seasons and Ages.
So what came out in 2000? Because
Oracle-
Majora's Mask came
Oracle
in 2000.
Ages and Seasons.
Oracle Ages and Seasons.
You sure that came out in 2000?
Yes. No, it
Let me
was the
check.
Oracle games. The Oracle games came out before.
I'm gonna check, bro, because I'm fucking.
So are we rating both of them like the same?
No.
Yeah,
you
we'll just
can't.
do it the same.
You
Yeah.
can't. You can't, bro.
Oh, okay, no, Mark,
Actually,
yeah, right.
Oracle
Regards.
came out in 2001.
Yeah. See, told you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Majora's
can't rank them.
Mask.
You
Oh,
can't
this
rank
one-
them
this
together
one,
though.
This one might ruffle a little
Majora's
feathers.
Mask. Oh shit.
Okay,
You want to go first?
I'll go first. I'm gonna say it's not God tier, that's for sure. I'm gonna say it's top tier. Only reason why, because like my biggest fault with this, I didn't like the fact that you had to keep fucking going back in time and fucking going through dialogue, seeing people not knowing you over and over again. I think, I don't know. I just that was just the biggest knockback for me. It was just like the time thing. I just can't stand fucking seeing that big ass moon coming down fucking every time, bro. I was like, just fucking top tier. It's a good game overall. Fucking love the dark aesthetic to it. You know what I mean? Fucking, I love the mask aspect of it. Fuck the fucking Goron fucking trial at the end, bro.
Oh.
All I'll say, dude. Fuck that fucking trial, bro. I beat this game at least 4 times in my life. I could never get the fucking Fierce Deities mask, bro, because of that fucking Goron trial, dude. The one at the end, dude.
Damn.
Fucking. So maybe that's why I'm a little. why it's not got here. But like even like just the aspect of like just keep on rewinding time and going back in time and doing shit all over again and having to hurry up and beat a temple before fucking time runs out and stuff like that. It's just I didn't like that. But
Can I go
top
next?
tier.
Go ahead, Jay.
Go ahead.
This bitch is the most middest game I've ever played, bro.
You put mid tier.
It's mid tier, bro. There's so many other Zelda games better than Majora's Mask. And are we doing it like on our tier list, right? You see how it's mid? Are we having a tier list within a tier list? Like
What?
which mid game is better than which mid game?
That's still too complicated, bro.
Okay, this game is the fucking middest game I've ever played, bro. I don't give a fuck. I too have beaten this game multiple times. I don't understand the hype and will never understand the hype, bro. You can say okay, it has better side quests. Okay. The characters are reused.
Yep.
The mod
It's a direct sequel. So
I understand that, bro. Everything is the only difference is I hate the fucking 3-day system. That shit pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because I actually, when I first played Majora's Mask, I couldn't beat it because I was young and stupid. I did not understand it, so I'm gonna say that. I went back to it as older, a young adult, and it was still fucking stupid. I do not like Majora's Mask, but then again, it's not a bad game. The side quests are good. The story is good. So I'm not gonna say it's trash. It's mid. It's just an okay Zelda game.
Can I go next?
It's an okay Zelda game.
Because
So you go mid, okay.
I'm kind of going between top and mid. I was originally thinking top, but now that Jay like brings up like, you know, the whole thing about like
Makes me kind of want to change my game too. I was gonna go
because honestly,
but no,
as a kid, the 3-day system, the time travel fucked me up, bro. Like
fucked me up
because you really gotta manage your time, especially with certain side quests. If you want to get the best sword, you need all 3 days, bro. If you fuck up, you gotta redo everything, and that's
and you have to do it to the last minute, dude, to get the last like the last couple hours.
Yeah, I fucking hated that, bro. But at the same time, there's things about it that are really cool. That they use the time system pretty interesting. So it's just like, on one hand, the side quests I love because they actually had like some very interesting ones that were some of them were pretty heavy. The overall aesthetic of the game is dark and heavy. The dungeons were okay, to be honest. There were only 4 of them.
The only good dungeon was the what's the name, bro?
The dungeons weren't the best, and especially if you only have 4, and you know what I mean. Like, I don't know. The music was really good. I like the mask system, especially the ones that gave you powers. That was dope. The bunny hood is the best one.
Yeah, everyone used the bunny one. That's how you get around the map.
About the stone mask.
The stone one was cool too. Yeah.
Oh, to kind of make a differential between like the 3DS one and the original. In the original, certain things were in stupid places, bro. Like the stone mask. Like, which one's the one that made you like invisible or some shit? Like that one, you needed
stone mask.
Yeah, the stone mask. So you needed that for like the 3rd area, but you had to go to the 4th area to get it. Like that.
Yeah, 3DS fixed that.
Why? That's what I'm saying.
So
why?
Stupid, bro. So like.
Stupid, bro. It's a mid game. It's a mid game.
I'm gonna go next.
Bro, honestly,
I'm gonna go next.
I'm gonna have to say mid, bro. I'm gonna have to say
it's a mid game.
I'm gonna go next.
I know what Zelda game you guys are talking about.
Go ahead.
Majora's Mask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
So
Go ahead,
they go
Malak.
from Ocarina of Time.
Let Melodic.
It's
my
melodic.
bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Melodic, you go.
In my own opinion, let me say it. In my own opinion, I
know you
disagree
love
with
this.
everybody. It's God tier for me as of right now.
Oh my
As of
God.
right now.
Huh?
As of right now. Let me explain why.
No, go ahead, bro.
Because when it comes to story, Ocarina of Time has a very classic story. This game I like because it differentiates itself from the normal Zelda formula. It puts you outside of Hyrule. It puts you in a totally different land. It is a dark atmosphere.
Yeah.
It has so much psychology. It has some of the best side quests I've ever played in a video game, such as the Anju Cafe side quest, being able to like use a song of healing on the little girl's dad when he was a mummy in the deserted area. The power-up mask and all that stuff. Experiencing like I'm gonna sound crazy. Experiencing social issues at the beginning of that game as a Deku scrub, I was like, God damn, Termina's a rough city to live in. But to me, I love that game because when you really look deep into that game, it really makes you think. Especially if you're looking at things like the some of the creepypasta, like the Ben Drown stuff that kind of coincides with this game as well. Now, I will agree with everybody else. The dungeons aren't that memorable except for Woodfall Temple and Stone Tower Temple,
Stone Tower Temple was cool, yeah.
Stone Tower, I will say, is the best Zelda dungeon in the series, in my own opinion.
Oh, that's
but I love.
Oh, you capping, bro.
In the whole series?
This is my panel. This is my
series.
panel.
Huh?
This is my opinion right now.
Let him go.
Okay,
Let him go.
you're right.
I'm just fucking around.
Like I said, we're on a time frame, so I'm trying to speed this up.
You're right.
The mask add a whole new layer to the game outside of just your regular items. So overall, I absolutely love this game. The 3DS helps streamline the game a little bit. I don't mind it that much. I did think they kind of fuck up the swimming in the 3DS version, but other than that, like having the stone mask in the 3rd area of the game, it kind of helps the people out who may have not played Majora the first time, you know, and experience all that. So for me, I'm going to go with God tier. And Jay, I'm going to need you to keep the same energy on the same asset stuff because literally Breath of the Wild 2 is using the same assets because it's a sequel.
The fucking game is a huge side quest, bro. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Well,
best
the
thing, like you
Japanese
said, is
title is Zelda Gaiden. It's literally a side story.
Bruh. The game
It is a direct sequel, so yeah, I mean, he's not
It's
lying.
mid, bro. It is mid, bro.
All right,
It is mid.
Lily, go ahead.
I thought I was gonna get like major shit for this, but apparently everyone's like kind of agreeing with me. This is a mid for me. I don't know, like
Wow.
I do understand like, you know, the appeal of the game with it having a lot of side quests to literally having a quest log.
Yeah.
Like I think this is like the first time there's ever been a quest log in a Nintendo game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like I don't know, like it's nice that the dungeons are good to kind of whatever. I will say Stone Tower and Temple is a great Zelda dungeon. Should be considered one of the best ones. I don't know, better than the Ancient Cistern, better than the Forest Temple, better than the Spirit Temple, and I don't think so. I don't think
The Spirit Temple, by the way.
But, like,
go ahead.
but like, I don't know. Like I can't really fully explain it. It's just
You just think it's mid.
yeah, it's very mid. You know, it's like the beginning part of the game too, when you're forced into being a Speku scrub. Like it's not quite as long as another game we're about to get into. Oh boy, you guys.
And I'm going to fucking defend that game with my life, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, but just the beginning of that game just felt so weird and like just very off-putting, and it's right at the beginning of the game. Like if you spent some time as Lincoln in Termina to start with, but like there are some cool moments, like the final boss fight with Majora is great. Like the first time you walk on the surface of the moon and it's like that giant grassy field with that big tree. Like that, I actually really like that part of the game.
That is
like,
a beautiful area in that boss fight, the final boss.
Yeah, but I don't know. Just I've only played through this game like 1.5 times, and I just never really felt the need to just like go back to it very much. I don't know.
I agree.
It's very mid.
One last point: when you get the fierce deity mask and you walk in and beat the ever living shit out of Majora, it is the best feeling ever.
Oh yeah, you fuck him
literally
up.
as soon as you get that mask, you won the game, and like it makes
win.
it worth going to 100% that game.
Yeah,
and it pisses me off because I could never get
got
that
it
because of that fucking stupid fucking Goron trial,
Damn.
bro. Oh my god, don't even fucking get me started on that thing, bro. I might move it to mid tier, bro, if I fucking keep talking about it.
What do you think?
Richard and William are the last two that can either make him put it somewhere good on the tier list or keep it at mid. Go ahead, guys.
Well, the Goron trial was like Mario Kart.
I was gonna put it in top tier.
Top.
I
Man.
I actually appreciate it for trying something different and not the stupid kind of different like Zelda 2. Because let's be real, if they weren't gonna top Ocarina of Time. So seeing them try to do something different, I liked it and I appreciate it. Obviously, it's not better than Ocarina of Time. But all the problems you guys have with it, I didn't really have those problems with it. I actually kind of like it.
Me either.
Okay, top tier.
Oh,
go ahead, Will.
William, what do you think?
So
and be serious on this one. I know you're just like, trash tier. Just go ahead. Be serious.
No. I'm gonna give you a fair point. So this is one of the few Zelda games I played and not beaten because of the 3-day system. So to go from Ocarina of Time to this one disrespect me. So I gotta go with low.
Low tier.
I'm actually the one that appreciates the 3-day tier system because it adds another layer of challenge.
You know, I didn't even.
It adds to anxiety of the world.
Adds a layer of bullshit. That's what it does.
William kind of brought up a good point. Imagine going, you know, Ocarina of Time just came out, and then you pick up this next one, bro. It would kind of disappoint you, wouldn't it?
Yes, it disappointed me.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
But playing all the other games, I think this one did the uniqueness right in terms of its gameplay. Because all the other ones just copied off the template off Ocarina of Time.
Because you're just gonna die every 3 days when the moon is gonna come in and eat your butt. Like that's dumb.
So a challenge is bad now?
Eat your butt.
No,
a challenge is not bad.
Good, but it gotta be right,
just,
you know.
I think it's silly, honestly. Like, and the thing, I
think there was a lot of problems considering the fact that they made a lot of changes to the 3DS version. It kind of goes to show you that the original release, you know,
flawed.
It was very flawed. But hey.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, every re-release Zelda game fixes some quality of life stuff. So.
Yeah, but Ocarina of Time didn't really do that though.
No,
I mean, there was some.
Ocarina of Time didn't need to really be touched.
That's my point.
No, they did. They did change shit though. They made the Ocarina its own designated button. They made actual
like in-game literally changed locations of items in Majora's Mask. They changed how
make it easier.
They changed boss fights.
They
changed. They made the Bomber's Notebook. They changed that. They changed.
Make it easier.
Fast forwarding through time. They changed that. They made so many more changes to this.
I will agree with George though that
quality of life changes is just wrong. Like
I agree with George though.
How the Water Temple plays completely different.
I will agree with George though. The boss fight changes, especially in Stone Tower Temple, were some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen in a Zelda game.
I don't know why they turned it into a fucking wrestling match. Like I was like, this is fucking stupid.
Like,
You know what's crazy? So
I
Richard
don't
put
know,
it top tier. I put it low tier. That makes it mid tier still.
Yeah,
That makes it mid tier because I think there's more votes for
there's
mid tier.
more votes.
Yeah,
for
so it's
mid-tier.
Even though there's a god and 2 tops, that would mean 3 good, and then there's 3 mid, and then there's 1
Yeah,
bad,
low.
1 low. So that I think that, just
It's mid tier.
put it mid tier.
It's mid-tier.
Whoever said
bro.
trash tier is like smoking crack.
No, no one said trash. I said low.
No, I
He
said,
said
I
low.
said mid. I said mid.
I said low. 'cause I was being,
If we
serious,
post this
actually.
on Twitter, bro, we'll probably
We'll probably,
gonna
we'll
get
probably,
banned.
who cares?
We're gonna
Definitely.
get some shit.
That's our opinion, bro.
Whatever.
This one, I will say, these next 2 games, bro. I've been
Oracle.
Yes, the Oracle games. I've been.
That's right. The random
These are. I feel like these are the ones I was most excited to talk about. I want to go first because I really like the Oracle games.
Go ahead.
But I do
I like them as well, so go ahead.
want to preface this.
I'm
and
actually
say
going
that
to jump into
Nintendo-
this one. I never played the Oracle game, so I'm not going to have a vote.
I want to preface
Okay.
this and say this that Nintendo released
I'll be
these
right
games. If you played these 2, you know they are 2 completely different ones.
Yes.
Two completely different games. In
Yeah,
my
one's based
opinion,
on puzzles and
one
one's based
yeah.
on action.
one
Action.
is better than. In my opinion, one is better than the other one.
Mm.
I think Ages. Man, I think Ages is top tier.
Ages. Okay.
Who's playing GameCube in
think-
the background?
That'd be me.
I
Sorry,
think
my
Oracle.
bad, Jay.
I think Oracle of Ages is top tier because for one, it was harder than Seasons, bro. And I think the time instead of like the actual season, the time moving forward aspect was pretty good, bro.
Mhm.
And like I like the fucking companion shit they did with the fucking flutes and shit, bro. When you have like the fucking kangaroo and shit, the fucking the fuck was it, bro? Was it like a kangaroo or something? I'm like
skipped the
forgetting what they
intro.
were.
I saw the intro on the video.
Whatever. You had like these companions, bro. The puzzles
The
were
puzzles.
good.
Yeah.
The fucking dungeons were good, bro. The fights were good, bro. In my opinion, bro, I just think Oracle of Ages is a better game than Oracle of Seasons. That's just me. I feel like Oracle of Ages was the like the young adult game, and Seasons was the
Seasons was easier.
younger- yes,
Seasons was
Yeah.
more action. Ages was the one that was,
like you had
Okay.
to think. You
yeah,
had to
think more puzzles and stuff. Yeah.
And it was so much more. I like the items, the fucking item. I can go on and on about the items and fucking season, like fucking the strange flute, the power glove, the fucking bro. It was just
Okay.
It's just
Go ahead and give a
game,
grade.
bro.
Go ahead and give him a grade.
I give it
Both.
top tier, bro. I give top
For
tier,
both?
top tier Ages, mid tier Seasons.
I'll go next. Jay pretty much explained why I really love these games too. I don't know. He pretty much nailed everything that I like loved about them. So I'm gonna go the same thing. I'm gonna go Ages top tier, Seasons mid, because Seasons is way too easier. It was way too easy. I mean, excuse me.
These
Go ahead,
two
Rebel.
Zelda.
Go ahead,
These two
Monster.
Zelda games are the ones that I have not had the opportunity to beat yet, and I feel bad about it because I did own a Game Boy Color cartridge of Ages from back in the day, and then Seasons I've only played through like emulation, trying it out. Now, being it based off Seasons is more action, and Ages is more puzzle based. Yeah, I would probably say that based off just those two alone, I would probably enjoy Seasons more. But if I'm gonna be totally fair on this, I would probably either put both of them on mid tier or both of them on low tier.
Okay. So what are you leaning more towards, mid or low?
I'll probably we'll split them up. I'll put Seasons in mid tier and I'll put Ages in low tier.
Oof, wow. All right.
Mm.
I might have to ban you.
He hasn't
but,
beaten
I
the
mean,
games. He hasn't beaten the games. He said.
I
so.
have not beaten the games, so
I beat Ages. I never beat Seasons.
Where
So-
did you get to? Where did you get to? Do you know? Do you remember?
who me?
Yeah, in Ages. Where'd you get?
It's been such a long time since I played Ages.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should try and go back and play them on emulator on your
I am,
PC.
especially
definitely
through
go back to
RetroArch. RetroArch does the retro achievements and stuff, so I'm definitely going to
Yeah.
be
Definitely
playing
go back
there.
and play Ages, bro. Ages.
Yeah.
Go back. And play Ages.
What about you, Richard?
I put them both in top tier.
Okay.
Okay.
How about you? I know George was throwing shade at these games. Was it last week or something like that? So, what do you think about Oracle Ages and Seasons?
I think Ages is a really good game. I didn't play Seasons. My problem with them, and correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you need both games to
No.
get the final boss?
That's false. Aegis actually had three. I love Aegis so much. Aegis had 3 end bosses. Like
No,
you
but
could
like to fight Ganon though.
no, you didn't.
You
didn't
didn't?
need both. You can play both games separately,
Mm-hmm.
and they both had like semi different. In Aegis, in Aegis. There's technically 3 bosses at the end, like 3 different bosses you can fight.
What they're talking about is
Extra.
the code exchange between the 2 versions of the game.
Yeah, that's what I think he's talking about.
Yeah.
No, you didn't need both to fight Ganon. I don't think so. I don't remember. Like I said, I played both of them, so I just fought them. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look at that. I'm not completely sure.
Okay, so I looked
been
it up.
so
Nick
long
already
already.
hates our tier list.
So if you beat it, you get a password, and then you put that password into the other.
In the other
That's
game.
probably what it was. I don't
Yeah.
remember doing that though.
Yeah. So
I just know in Aegis you can fight different. It's 3 more bosses. I'm forgetting what they were. I think it's 3. It's either 2 or 3. It's one of those.
Okay,
Aegis is just a
let
better
George
game,
go.
bro. I'm sorry.
Well, that was kind of my whole point. The reason why I thought that those Oracle games weren't very good was because, I mean, it's good, but what I didn't like was the whole separation between the 2 games. You know what I mean? They try to do like a Pokemon thing where we have 2 versions. You play this, they interconnect. There's features that you can get that are locked behind passwords, and I didn't like that. And then it's been so long. I thought you needed both to fight Ganon. I thought that's what it was. If that's the case,
it is.
It
Not
is.
that I remember it. I don't
thought so
remember it being
because
like
I
that.
remember being so mad. I'm like, because I remember
Let's do a Google search.
I remember beating Aegis, and I'm like, okay, that was a good game, but then I heard like, oh, you need the second game to get to Ganon to get that final ending, and I'm like, what? Like that's some
No, it's
bull.
passwords for like the 2 more bosses, but not for Ganon.
I thought it was for Ganon.
I think it's for a certain boss. Like I said, dude, I've only played these games one time each as a kid.
Yeah, and that's another.
I was like probably like.
That's another reason.
10 maybe.
Like, all right. So I gotta preface this. We're huge Zelda fans. I've beaten multiple Zelda games multiple times.
Yeah.
Oracle of Ages, I beat that bitch once, and that's it.
I beat it twice.
So to me, bro, that's what that says to me is, I mean, of course I liked it, but not enough to really go back and play it ever again, and that's kind of a problem, bro. Especially if you're a big Zelda fan.
You think it is? Because I only beat Breath of the Wild once, and I still have.
Well, that's
highly
different
praised
though,
for it.
because Breath of the Wild, bro, I have 170 hours, but I'm not gonna do that again. But
Yeah,
for a Zelda game, that's like what, maybe what, especially Oracle of Ages, what's that like?
Oracle of Ages is like 30 hours.
30 hours.
I don't know if it's that long.
It took me 30 hours to beat it.
Yeah, but we were kids
but
back
I
then,
like
so-
it. Yeah, and I like it. I was exploring.
Yeah, I
this
mean
shit, bro.
that bitch probably like maybe 10 hours, maybe if.
Let me look.
So that's kind of different, you know. The older games, like some of the other games we haven't talked about yet, but like Ocarina of Time, bro. Ocarina of Time doesn't take you as long to beat Breath of the Wild, but I beat that bitch multiple times. Oracle of Ages, I like it, but not enough to replay it. I would say
it's saying 20 hours, bro. Oracle Ages 20 hours.
20 hours. Okay. I still haven't gone back to play it. If I remember correctly, bro, if you needed both versions to beat Ganon or fight Ganon, that's fucked up. And I'm glad that Nintendo never did that again. Cause like, bro, like, why would you lock that behind the fact that you needed 2 versions, bro? I don't know. To me, that was pretty shitty, and I feel like it brings it down for me. I think Ages is mid. Seasons, I never played it, so I'll just put it together with Ages, bro. They're both mid to me.
All right. So Willie doesn't have an opinion, and Will. Will.
I never played it.
Okay, so I hate to say this, I guess they're going both to mid tier. Man, we
to
started
mid-tier.
like Zelda haters now, bro. Got
Yeah.
everything going into mid tier.
To mid-tier, I guess.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, both
according to Riku, we are.
I just think Oracle of Ages is a better game than Seasons.
I agree.
I never played Seasons, so I don't know. I don't know. But
So what? Wait. Is it how many for Ages is in top tier?
3.
There's 3, right?
oh, okay,
Yeah.
so it might be
And-
top then.
So Ages should be top 3.
Ages is top tier, and then
And then
Seasons
Seasons
is
is
mid.
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 All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Yep.
cool.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Wind Waker is next, I think.
Wind Waker.
Oh,
Here we go.
This is a big one.
Is
This
it not on? Oh, there it is. I see it.
yeah. Wind Waker. I'm gonna go. I remember when they first showed Wind Waker, I was pretty disappointed how the game looked. Super cartoony, so I was like, "What is this? This
This
game
shit
looks
looks
fucking
like a Disney movie.
Yeah, it looks so silly. I don't like it." But as a kid, I was a huge Zelda fan already. I was like, "I gotta play that." Pick up the game. Oh, that game is fantastic. Only my biggest knock is it's too short to me personally. Not many much tempos, but like just the aesthetic, it's like the visuals, dude. Like being on the sea, you know what I mean? Fucking stabbing fucking Ganon in the head, bro, at the end of the game, you know what I mean? Just fucking that game. And then in the HD version, oh man, fucking they fix some things with the sailing and stuff like that.
I go
Yeah.
after
Great game.
first.
Absolutely fantastic game. Fucking that's why most of the Zelda games are cel shaded now. Is because of Wind Waker. That's why we got this art style of like the cel shaded look. Fantastic game. I'm gonna say top tier.
Okay. I'm gonna say, going off as a kid, when I first played Wind Waker, I hated it. I did not like it. I did not like the art style of it. I was like, bro, what the fuck is this kiddie shit? Right? Then going back to it as a young adult, a young teenager, the art style is great. The art style grew on me. Let me just say that, because after that, I played the Minish Cap, so the art style grew on me, right? The story is fantastic, bro.
Yep.
It's only a couple
fucking
Zelda.
story.
It's only a couple Zelda games I give fantastic story to, and Wind Waker is one of them. Ganondorf. This is one of the best Ganondorfs in the series, bro.
Facts.
Hands fucking down.
Yep.
The hand, like, I actually sympathize with Ganondorf.
Yep.
I do agree with Prez. The shit was it was kind of short. It
was too short.
It was short. Sometimes
I wish there was
as
more
a
tempos
kid,
as well. So
yeah,
it's just
as a kid, I got lost a lot on the water, like going into these mini islands, and then sometimes I would miss them completely and not even go to these islands. I do wish it was more dungeons, but that's small. That's small compared to how great the game does other things. The story, the combat, Ganondorf,
going to the fortress, you know what I mean? Just
all that shit. Like when I
man.
first went to that huge ass fucking fortress, bro, I was like, what the man? I was like, man, this shit is like, as a kid, I didn't understand that and I couldn't appreciate it. But when I got older, I'm like, yo, this is one of the. So I have to put it top tier.
Yep.
And I have to put it on par with A Link to the Past. That's my opinion.
Ooh.
I have to put it on par with Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say that's tough, dude. I can't even. I'm not gonna even have an opinion on that. Go ahead, George.
I'd say top tier. When I first played it, I thought it was really good. Dungeons were kind of lacking. They did admit they cut content. When the HD version came out, people were like, "Oh, you're gonna add that cut content back into the game?" They're like, "Nope, because they said they already put those dungeons in other games." I would say that's the music is so good. The sailing theme was so good. I think I told Jay this. Yeah, I think I told Jay this the other day. Just like that game made you feel like this was like an open world game on the game. On the game, it wasn't. But it made you feel that way, bro. But we now know the Great Sea was just a one big loading screen, bro. That's really what it was.
Pretty much.
But
that's what it was.
But the thing is, though, it made you feel like, bro, we're on a fucking adventure, bro. The music playing, you can. I kind of like the fact that you can manipulate. It made you
think that you had a choice on where to go.
Yeah, oh, bro, I could go out to all these islands, bro. That's dope.
Also,
yeah.
Real quick, it has the best Great Fairy theme to version of it.
Dragon Roost. Oh my goodness, that was great.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, bro, it's just so good.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people complained about the art style when it first came out. And that's understandable. Like,
but you learned to love it.
You did.
Yeah.
And that's
Beautiful fucking game.
That goes to show you how good that game was. That game was
Yep.
hated when it came out. Like, people were like, man, fuck this
Right.
game, bro.
This game looks not by Zelda.
not-
When
bro.
they play it,
Oh,
Oh
my
my gosh.
goodness. Yeah, bro.
that's how I was too. When I was a kid, I was like, oh, I don't want to play that. I played that. I was like, oh, I love this game.
It's so.
Go ahead, George. Sorry.
I'm interested in seeing what Melodic thinks, bro. I'm interested in hearing what he thinks, bro.
I'm just saying, like, in the face of adversity, bro, Wind Waker delivered.
Yes,
And
it did.
I feel like, and I agree with Jay about Ganon. Ganondorf, bro, you would expect, like, Ganondorf to be like, oh, I'm just going to take over the world, fuck you. But he
Fuck
was
this
like,
nigga, bro.
but he was literally just like, I just want to bring Hyrule back.
That boy Ganon said, man, bro, what the fuck?
Bro, like, it was though, and the way that you beat Ganondorf at the end, bro, like Link going around and
Stab him in the head, bro.
Oh
Yep.
my, it was so dope, and
So satisfying,
it
too,
was
bro.
so satisfying,
And
bro.
you actually feel sad when you beat him, though. Like
When
like,
you
damn.
kill him, yeah.
like damn,
All
bro.
he wants is his home back. That's basically
That's
all he
really what it
wanted.
was. And
I just love the fact that the fucking the plot twist.
Tetra-
of,
Oh yeah, the
uh,
plot twist. We're
in
like,
Zelda.
oh shit, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like it's a great fucking game.
It's a good. It's a great
I
game,
love
bro.
going to the Hyrule Castle at the bottom of the ocean, bro. That was such a dope scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, it was a lot of great things about it. I say top tier, bro.
yeah.
Top tier.
Melodic. I definitely. I want to hear
Let's get
what
Melodic's
Melodic
opinion.
say.
Go ahead, Melodic.
I absolutely love Wind Waker. It's one of my
Okay.
favorite games in the franchise. And for as much shit as people talk about the art style, it is probably like you could go back and even play the GameCube version of
It still
Wind
looks
Waker
good.
today. It aged
yeah.
perfectly. This is
Like,
what
legit
I
It's dark
mean.
as fuck. It's dark as fuck. It's dark
This
as
is
fuck.
what. Well,
But
it's
you
not
can.
as dark as Majora, but this is what I'm talking about. Where games like this taking Ocarina and to me doing it a little bit better. It's aged really well. As somebody who loves the openness of Zelda on NES, I love the fact with Hyrule being flooded, you can go around and sail to different places. While there is some sort of a linearity still established, I love being able to just go explore different islands for different things, and you're rewarded
Art
for that
pieces and
along the way. I love the characters. This game introduced the Rito tribe, which are
Yep.
fantastic.
Yeah,
I love
our
Melody as a
mainstay.
character.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Makar-
she was awesome. Yeah, she was. I like
Yeah.
Makar is the cutest fucking character in all video games.
Yeah.
It's just like a little tree person that you can just
Yeah.
pick up and carry with you. And the dungeons in this game, I love the Tower of the Gods.
That was a great
Forsaken
dungeon.
Fortress is one of my favorite Zelda dungeons because it's literally like playing Metal Gear Solid, but in Zelda because you have to sneak around everywhere.
Sneak around. Yep.
It has the best Ganondorf boss fight besides Twilight Princess, which we'll talk to about in a second.
Okay,
That has
yeah.
one of
Yeah.
the best final boss fights.
Yeah.
Where at the end, Link literally stabs him in the fucking skull and turns him into stone. The
Yeah.
idea of Hyrule being flooded and just going and getting the Master Sword, Tetra as a character, I love it. I know a lot of people said top tier, but I'm gonna have to go with God tier on this one.
Okay.
I love it that much.
Top tier. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I can see that. I love it. I don't think it's got to.
I
though.
even own the Wii U edition Wind Waker console. That's how hyped I was for that game being
That's
remade.
fire. Hot take: Wind Waker HD looks better than Skyward Sword HD still.
Oh yeah.
Oh, facts.
That's
Yeah,
a fact.
that's facts.
Yep.
We're not debating that.
That's
Oh no.
Yeah,
the-
It's
Wait,
not
wait.
hard to do.
Yeah,
Wind
but
Waker
it's
HD looks
like-
great.
Imagine if it comes to Switch at 60 frames, bro. Oh, please, dude, just
Oh,
give us that game at
That's
60
the
frames
one
per
thing
second.
about Wind Waker HD, bro. It has some dips. So if they could just
Yeah.
make that bitch 60, bro. Solid.
Oh, and the Tingle Tuner. I don't know if y'all
Tingle Tuner.
hook your Game Boy.
Oh, on the
Yeah,
HD.
oh.
Yeah.
Hooking
Yeah, yeah.
your
The
Game
Game
Boy
Boy- the
Advance
Game-
to that
Yeah,
game
yeah.
made it fucking cool. The Tingle
Yeah.
Tuner was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Lily.
Wait, when?
Yeah, this is another really great one. This is going to be a top tier, just like
Okay.
what everyone else said. It's
Pretty much
I
everyone
love-
said what? Yeah.
I love the exploration in the game. Well, you know, obviously there is like a linear path, like everyone said, but like
Yeah.
you know, going around to the different islands and stuff. Like, I never had a problem with the art style. Like, what I will say, I did like I kind of got off gaming for a bit during the 6th generation, but I went back after I started collecting, and I played that's when I played this game for the first time. But yeah, just it had. I think one of the only things that I could say about it is like this was like the era of Zelda games having like really long openings and having like really weird gameplay mechanics like right at the beginning of the game. It's it hasn't gotten as bad as like other Zelda games we'll get to in a minute.
You better not say it.
But like having the Forsaken Fortress be like the first thing that you do with like the whole sneaking around thing, it's like I think having that like partway through the game probably would have been better.
Forsaken Fortress music, man. Oh my god.
It was really good. Yeah.
But still, like I said, the Great Fairy Fountain theme version for Wind Waker was absolutely fantastic. For like the power select, dude, that's the best version. No fucking cap, dude. That's the best version of that song, dude. It's everything about Wind Waker is good.
Yeah.
Like I said, my only knockback is a little too short, and I wish there was more variety of areas.
I will say the Triforce Gathering was kind of.
Yeah,
they fixed that in HD. Yeah, they fixed that in HD.
But I'm gonna give y'all some homework.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give y'all some homework. Go look up Wind Waker Unplugged. It's one of the best like fan-made music pieces that's ever been made for a Zelda game. It's so good. Go look that shit up. You'll thank me later.
Oh, there's a cool rendition of Dragon Roost Island on Ocarina of Time and acoustic guitar as well. That's one of my favorite Zelda themes as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rich.
I mean, you guys pretty much said all the good things about it. My only problem with the game is that it's like Lily said, that fucking stealth section in the beginning. It's so out of place, and
it wasn't that bad to me.
I thought it was interesting. Yeah.
It was just
weird. You didn't like hiding in a barrel, bro? You didn't like hiding in a barrel?
It should have been later in the game. It should have been right at the beginning.
Yeah.
But
I can
with all that said, it's God tier.
God tier.
Ooh, so 2 God tiers and what?
3.
Will, what about you? Will, have you played Wind Waker? Sorry.
I have, but only on the Wii U.
I mean,
how do you feel about it?
That's the best version.
Still the game.
And you are a Wii U gamer?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
Well, Clues, if you're watching, you can thank me later. But I don't know how the hell you guys can pray. It's one of the most boring Zelda games I've ever touched.
Oh my god!
You are sailing as this loading screen, and you have to collect pigs and hide in barrels. The only cool part was, you gotta stab Ganondorf because fuck him for having a home. Like, nah, fuck that noise.
Dude, the combat was fantastic.
You didn't like
in Wind Waker HD.
Dude,
bro?
No, that's another thing. You can pick up any of the enemy's weapons and use it against them.
Yeah, that was dope. I forgot about that. That was dope, bro.
Yeah.
That was so good.
And let me tell you something that I love about Wind Waker is the connection with Link and his grandma reminds me of the connection between me and my grandma, because my grandma on my dad's side of the family, she's the one who got me into Zelda.
Yeah.
So for me, that's another thing that makes it God tier for me. I'm not mad if it,
grandma.
I'm not mad if this game.
And then Link had a sister as well.
Yeah, he had a sister.
Had a family.
He had a
you know what I mean? So it's different.
It made you sympathize for Link. Like, damn, his sister.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The reason why he went out is because to save his sister.
Because to save his sister.
Yeah.
I'm not mad
like
Zelda,
that
his
crawfish
sister.
shirt dude he had, bro. That crawfish shirt was fire, bro.
Yeah, that sure was fire.
Sorry.
But I'm not mad if this game goes to the top tier, but it's definitely God tier for me.
Top tier, bro.
I would say top
but
tier.
I understand.
I understand God tier, though. I understand.
Yes. Top tier, but I understand God tier.
Alright, so 1 trash tier. Oh, Clueless also said trash tier. 3 top tiers.
Yep. Put it top tier, bro.
No, Clueless has trash.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah, but
it's still more good than there's 2 gods and there's 3 tops.
Wind Waker's the goal next to Phantom Hourglass. I mean, next to Phantom Hourglass.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, let's speed through some of these ones. All right, so
Yep.
4 Swords.
Which one?
Which one? The one on
the GameCube
Game Boy Advance one.
GameCube or
Is
Game
that-
Boy Advance?
Yeah,
There's 2 of them. There's 2 of them.
There's 2 of them.
Oh,
the Game Boy Advance came out first.
Yeah, it was with A Link to the Past on GBA.
You know what's crazy, bro? I've never played the GBA one. So I have
never
to,
played
You
it
have
either.
to have people put that in trash tier because you have to have people unless you're playing the DSi.
Yeah, the
version.
that's
the
true.
GBA one, you had to have other
Yeah,
people
all
to
right,
play
so
it.
that's trash tier.
No, one of them's better than the other one though.
Oh, the GameCube one's way better.
The GameCube one is
Yeah.
better.
Well, you
than,
guys wanna
You
talk
can
about
actually
Okay.
not
the
really.
the GameCube one. I would say low tier. You can play that by yourself, but that game is short as hell, from what I've heard.
It
Yeah, I
is-
think
Yeah.
I would
That
say the
game's
GameCube
expensive,
version.
too.
The GameCube version
Yeah,
is low tier.
it was
But
fun though.
it's
but
fun though. Yes,
it
is
was fun, but
Yeah.
you literally need a Game Boy Advances, the cable, to
Game,
connect.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
You needed a GameCube and 3
You
Game
need
Boy Advance.
so much just to play multiplayer. You're
And the copy
Yeah.
of that game physical has gone so much
Yeah,
higher
it's
now
really
to where it makes it
Yeah.
impossible unless you emulate that game.
so.
But
What,
then you
okay.
still have to
so
figure
what
out
y'all
the
think? Low
multiplayer.
tier?
Which we don't endorse.
Low
I think-
tier, low tier for
Low
the
tier?
for the GameCube
Low tier.
version.
For
Everyone
the
agree?
yeah for the GameCube.
Yes.
I don't-
Game-
I
And
don't care.
the
I don't care about
GameCube,
these
the
games.
Game Boy version is trash.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because you needed multiple people to actually play it.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
play by yourself. Okay.
Okay. What's after that? Twilight Princess, I think it's
isn't
next,
that,
right?
Isn't
Twilight
it Twilight
Princess,
Princess?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait,
Twilight
what's the
Princess.
Minish Cap?
Oh, Minish
Oh,
Cap.
Minish
Oh,
Cap.
Minish Cap first.
Yeah, you're right.
Twilight.
I can't believe
top
I forgot that.
Top tier.
Top tier. Best
Top
2D
tier.
Zelda game ever.
Top tier.
Best 2D Zelda game ever. No fucking cap, dude.
Oh no!
Yes, it
no,
is.
no,
Yes, it fucking is.
no.
Yes, it fucking
No.
is. Best
No.
2D Zelda game ever, bro.
Let people get their pieces off, and then
Why?
we can
Why
talk.
is it the best? Why is it the best?
It was
2D?
just, it
Why
was
is
just
the
unique
best?
and different, dude. Fuck, dude, I love fucking Toon Link in the 2D art style. The fucking, dude, it's just a great game, dude. It fucking,
Eslo.
It's
Huh?
good.
it's fucking
Link's hat,
fantastic.
Eslo.
It's
Yeah,
mid.
Eslo, dude, the hat, dude, is fucking, dude. It's a great game. I love it. Top tier, best 2D Zelda game ever.
Who did you fight at the end of Minish Cap?
Body.
Is it Vati?
Is it Vati?
Yeah.
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 Okay. So this is what I'm gonna say about Minish Cap, just to speed through it. Vati, I love Vati as a villain. I think they need
Yeah.
to more. They,
It was
they-
different.
I think Nintendo needs to do more with Vati. Minish Cap, I can see top tier, and I can also see mid tier.
No, it's not mid tier.
Me,
No
personally,
fucking
I would say top tier.
me personally, I like Minish Cap, but I no. All I'm saying is I can see people say top tier, and I can see people say mid tier. I do love Vati at the end.
Monty's.
I do like Aslo. I like
Came
the
up
fucking
with
They
your
need to make
companion.
another Four Swords.
I like the companion. You know, your fucking hat.
Yeah.
But like I said, me personally, I would say top tier. I don't think it's the best 2D game ever made. That's me personally.
I think it's the best 2D
Like,
Zelda game.
if somebody
That's my hot
argue,
take.
if somebody argue mid tier, I wouldn't be upset either. That's all. I think
I'm gonna
it's,
speak
I
on
think it's
mine
on
real quick.
the cusp of top tier and mid tier. It's in between. It's like on both. It could be both, in my opinion.
I'm gonna speak on my opinion real quick, and I borrowed this game from somebody. I beat the first dungeon. I actually really like it. I like the fact that you can roll around on the ground in this game, which is something that you can only do in like the 3D games at the time. I love the 2D art style in this game. I love the whose background is that?
Who's
That's
the
Will,
background?
with William.
Well,
Keep going, bro.
So like the I like the Picori people, you know, when you go and you get into that micro world and you're like walking on the ground, and it's like you're an ant in this like much bigger world. So that was the cool aspect about it. I love Eslo as a companion.
Yeah.
People are gonna hate me when I say this. I have not had a chance to beat this game because I did not own it myself. But out of all between this and the Oracle games, I'd much rather play this first because I feel like this game has aged much better.
Facts.
So I'm gonna put it on mid tier. Mainly because I haven't played all of it, but I know it controls better, and I know it's going to be a lot easier to get through this one than the other ones.
this
And
is
I
the
know
Zelda
people are
game
gonna
that
hate me for
deserved
that.
the remake. This is the Zelda game that deserved the remake
I'll
over
just
Link's.
I'll go really quick. I love Minish Cap. This is one of the games that I played and beat 100% multiple times. It's just that good. I really like the kinship stone system. Like
Kinship Stone, yep.
Yeah, kind of going around talking to different NPCs, like matching up the stones and stuff like that. The dungeons were pretty cool. Like you would shrink down to like smaller size, and like, normal enemies would be like legit giant bosses to you.
Giants.
It's that was such a cool thing.
Also, it also utilizes the second screen very well as well.
Yeah.
No,
Wait,
what second screen?
Well, no, it's a GBA.
It's a GBA game. Yeah.
What the fuck am I talking about then?
What GBA are you playing?
Like, 2 screens, bro. Like
And I played Minish Cap on a DS, and you could use a second screen with it.
all right.
I might be
Well,
tripping.
yeah,
I might be
because on the
tripping.
Nintendo
Yeah.
DS, you can select which screen you want to play
What
your
screen
game.
you want to
Yeah,
play?
yeah.
That's probably what it was. I was
Yeah,
tripping then. I don't know what
You
the fuck.
tripping.
Also, I kind of like the fact that this is like the start of the Four Sword, like
The Four Sword, yeah.
series type of thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, the first time we see Vadi, it was
The Four Sword, I think, is in that game too, right?
you make
Yeah,
it.
you
make the Four
Four
Sword.
You make the Four. It's the origins of the Four Sword.
Yeah,
is
it
This
is.
was
Sword.
because I remember in Hyrule Historia, this was like the first like in the Zelda timeline before Skyward Sword came out.
Yeah.
Because it was like
Right,
early,
it was
early
early
timeline.
on. It was early, yeah.
No, was it? Yeah, it was Skyward Sword, then Minish Cap,
then
right?
Minish Cap, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then Four
so-
Swords, right? From
and
there on out, right? Yeah.
I just thought it was so interesting, like, you know, Minish Cap kind of started like its own like little sub thing within the main time. You know what I mean? Like a different sword. There's no Master Sword, none of that. It's the Four Sword. So
It's Vati. Then
It's
at the end
Vati.
is actually Ganondorf. Like it's actually Ganon. It's no Ganon, but actually at the end it is Ganon.
but kind of is Ganon,
Yeah.
bro. But
Technically, the first appearance of Ganon based off of Skyward Sword storyline.
Yeah.
yeah. So I just thought it was so interesting. So top tier, bro, for sure.
Okay. Go ahead, Rich.
This game is mid tier. I don't remember anything that happened in this fucking game.
Wow.
And I understand that. I have no issue with that. I can fight for the top and the mid. I understand because I know a lot of people who think it's mid, which is fine.
Bro, I've legit probably seen nobody say it's ever called.
I know
Minish
a couple
Cap
people
mid.
that say Minish Cap is mid game.
I most of the time I hear people say it's one of the most underrated Zelda games in the series.
I'm
So
only
what-
putting it at mid because I haven't finished it.
So we going top tier or mid? Right now mid is
No,
winning,
we still
right?
got Lily. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Lily.
I mean, I hate to disappoint everyone, but I just didn't think this game was. It's a perfectly fine 2D Zelda game, but like, I played about half this game and I kind of just put it down, and it's I don't know, like it's. I also can't really remember a lot about this game either.
All right, bro. No, top tier. I'm stepping in. Top tier.
It's
I'm stepping in.
It's mid, bro. You can't do it.
I'm
It's
stepping
mid.
in. It's top tier.
It's
Well,
mid.
It's 3-3.
William
mid.
is the.
William.
Oh my god, dude.
Well, what do you
Oh,
think?
William.
Oh
If-
my god.
William, if you love, hey William, if you love me, you do the right thing, sir. That's all I'm gonna say.
Alright, so
bro.
okay, so
If we don't-
we're talking about Minish Cap, William.
Right?
Okay.
So
Trash tier.
what do you put it in? Minish Cap.
Will, if you love, if we fam,
Nah, bro,
let the
you-
kid
just-
answer.
Just let him.
Kid, you call me Kid Price. Okay, tell me where to put this shit right now. I'll hook you up right now.
Oh,
Go ahead. No, William, go ahead.
Disrespect, I'm gonna disrespect it right now. That motherfucker said that shit was mid tier. I'm gonna put that shit top tier for Prez. End of
No,
story.
William.
That
real talk.
doesn't
Go
count.
ahead,
That
answer
doesn't
for real. Go
that
ahead.
doesn't
It counts. It counts. That's my opinion. It's top tier.
that doesn't count.
It's because
Go ahead.
Prez has the
Just say my freedom of
Natsuki
speech
profile
doesn't count.
picture.
Williams last podcast.
That's just top tier.
Go ahead, Will,
I
for
think
real.
it's top
You-
tier.
you-
I know good Zelda games.
He hasn't
Okay,
even- he
top
hasn't even
tier.
played
End
it.
of
You know
story.
He hasn't even played it.
Okay, put it at top then. Put it
Alright,
at
it's
top.
top tier.
Whatever. Like I said, I can.
Fine.
See,
Hope I did the right thing,
mid.
Chris.
I can see mid tier.
Yeah.
I can definitely see mid tier for it.
Alright.
You voted top tier, so put in top
People
tier.
are gonna think our list is crazy.
I said top tier,
Bro,
but I
dude,
can also see
people are
mid tier.
gonna
That's what I
watch
said.
this and say that was cheating.
I don't care. It's top tier. Put that bitch
You
in
know
top
what?
tier.
You know what?
What's next?
I changed it. That game's trash tier.
What's next?
Too bad. Still going top tier.
Next
What's
one
next?
is Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess, dude.
This
Oh,
is
hold
a
up.
I'm gonna let
this
the
is a
hater go
tough one.
first. I'm gonna let the hater go first. Because
This-
Well, hold on.
I know-
Let me make sure it was. I'm
This
trying to make
is
sure
a
it was.
tough one.
Okay, it was. Twilight, not Phantom Hourglass. Here's the thing.
Okay.
I don't hate Twilight Princess, but I definitely think it's the most overrated Zelda game in the franchise.
Oh,
People in
man.
North America only like it because of the darker art style, which I do like the art style. But that had the longest fucking intro out of every Zelda game. you know, it's just because you have to start off doing your everyday life in the Ordon village. Then you get captured into the Twilight Realm. You have to play a fucking wolf for a little bit. Then you have to go to the first dungeon, like 3 hours in the game in the intro, unless you're skipping the cutscenes. But if it's your first time playing through, you're not skipping cutscenes because you're trying to get context of the story. The story itself is good. I like the characters. The boss fights were easy as shit. They barely do any damage to you. I do like the Arbiter's Grounds. It's like the only memorable dungeon besides the Ice Palace that I remember that I like out of this game. So, I mean, I would have to do another playthrough to really determine what I would have to say on this, but, you know, based on just, I don't know, something about it just, it's not as good as Wind Waker. I do like the final boss fight of this game. I do like the characters, but the pacing just sucks in this game. I'm gonna have to put it.
Can I go next? Can I go next?
Put it at mid tier.
Go ahead, Jay.
Okay. So this is another one that I made my own tier list, and I really sat down and I thought about it, bro. And Zelda, I had Twilight Princess top tier.
Facts.
But when I actually sat down and thought about it, the game takes forever to get started. If we talking about the OG, Wii or GameCube, whatever you want to talk about, Garrett, version, collecting those fucking tiers were fucking terrible.
Yep.
They fixed it in the Wii U version.
Not really.
Wolf Link still kind of
they
sucked to play
lessen.
as.
Yeah, they lessen what you had to do. 2, the game is called The Legend of Zelda, and you literally see her for 2 minutes.
And Zelda has a personality of a stick of wood in this game.
She does. She does. Midna, I love Midna.
That is the thing I love about this game.
I
Midna is
do
the
love
best
Midna.
dungeon.
Midna steals the show. on this.
Midna is the best companion in the series.
The Hyrule field of Twilight Princess
Oh, that's dope.
is kind of barren. It's nice and lot, but it's kind of barren. I didn't like the one thing where you had to fucking escort the fucking stagecoach. I hated that. The only good dungeon in the game, I agree with Melodic, is Arbiter's Ground. I did like the snowboarding aspect of the Ice Temple.
Oh,
the ice
tripping
That
right now,
was
dude.
But that fucking dungeon was basically a fucking Link doctor. You were Dr. Link, bro. Like trying to, you know what I'm saying?
You weren't
Making that fish-based pumpkin
I
soup
don't
or
know
whatever.
about y'all, but I never beat Ganon straight up. I never fought Ganon straight up. I just used a fishing rod on him every time. Once I found out that thing, that's what I did.
I've never known about the fishing rod thing,
Yes,
honestly.
if
So.
you pull the fishing rod out, Ganondorf just looks at the fucking fishing rod. You just fucking fuck him up every time. It's a
I didn't
glitch
know
that
that.
made it into the HD version, bro. Why? I don't understand. I've never beaten Ganon. straight up.
I've never heard of that. So this is my first time
Yes,
ever. Like, legit, I've never known.
straight up.
Why that is, Jay? Pretty much in most games, what is it? There's always been like a weird Easter egg thing that you can that's in Zelda games that you can do for against the boss battles. Like with Aghanim and Link to the Past, you can use the bug net to launch the beams back at them, and with what is it? Ganondorf and Ocarina of Time, you can use the bottle to bounce the balls back and forth. So I'm assuming the fishing rod was put in on purpose. It's not. I think it was just a thing to get.
Even if that was ever since I found out about, I've never fought Ganondorf straight up. I always used a fishing rod, right? In my opinion, Hyrule field is barren. It's really pretty nothing there, honestly. I think Twilight Princess is a mid game, based on all of that.
I'm gonna go next.
That's me. I think it's a mid game. So I'm
Top
gonna say
tier.
mid.
I'm going top tier. It had the most variety of dungeons. Twilight Princess had the most variety of dungeons, the most variety of different areas you go to. You learn more combat moves as the game progresses. You find they had way more characters involved in the actual main storyline compared to any of the other Zelda games. There were so much different types of weapons you could use. The ball and chain. What was the little spinny thing you go on? The fucking, what is it called again? You get in Arbiter's Grounds?
The top spinner.
The top spinner.
It's a spinner.
Some of the bosses were a little easy, but dude, the bosses are unique, especially the one Arbiter's Ground. When you use a spinner, you gotta go all the way up with the spinner, dude.
But for a
Ganon,
game that was
the
supposed to
dark
be able to
aesthetic,
work-
the darker style, man, I don't know, y'all tripping, bro. The music was fantastic. There was just, I don't know, like some of my knockbacks for some of the other Zelda games, there wasn't much temples or dungeons or the air. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, Twilight Princess had that.
You do make a good point though, because with Midna is my favorite.
Midna was fucking awesome.
I love Midna.
Midna is my favorite companion. I love the items in Twilight Princess.
Yeah,
the temples, all the variety. The final boss was good, but like my main thing with the difficulty in that game is for a game that's supposed to appeal to a Western audience, it's supposed to be a little bit more of a mature look. I kind of wish they made it a little bit more difficult. I know in the Wii U version, you can get the Ganondorf amiibo, play on hero mode, and you basically have Dark Souls in the form of Zelda. But that's another peripheral that you have to buy on top of it. But again, it's been forever since I played Twilight Princess, so eventually I do want to go back through it.
You should.
Update my perspective. Because I could see myself liking that more than Skyward Sword, based off me just recently going back to Skyward Sword. I don't know, it's a toss-up for me.
It's just, like, to me, like I said, like, I just feel like this Twilight Princess in general just had, like, so much things different going on with it compared to, like, some of the older titles. Like, when have you ever seen, like, so much characters get involved with the main story? You know what I mean? Like, when have you seen this much variety in temples? Or, I keep calling them temples, but dungeons, you know what I mean? Or, areas in Hyrule. Jay calls Hyrule barren, dude. Hyrule was fucking huge, dude. And I don't see.
I said it was big. I said it was big.
Yeah, but I mean, you calling it barren, dude. Hyrule was dope, dude. And fucking, I really don't see like how this. I don't know, man. I'm gonna say top tier. I pretty much told me you guys reasons why. It was a great fucking game. Just, yeah.
You can say it has these varieties in these dungeons, but
yeah, because dude, like most
other dungeons are memorable though. How many other dungeons are memorable though? Only
the Water Temple was really good. Arbiter's Ground was good.
Really, it's just Arbiter's Grounds.
For you, to you, it's just Arbiter's Ground.
Okay,
dude, like his fucking tunics looked fucking awesome, dude. You know what I mean? Like fucking, I don't know, man.
Even though one literally drained your money.
The Zora one, the money one, like there's just so much different things about it. Yeah, the Zora one looked dope. Yeah, Zora one. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm gonna say top tier.
We already cheated the tier list to put Minish Cap in there, so I think we should vote on Twilight Princess.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna say top tier, but I give you guys some reason.
Can I say my thing?
Go ahead.
You already hate it. I already know you hate it. So go ahead.
Oh yes, you're correct, Prez.
Just because the beginning was a little dragged out, which I agree.
This is the era of Zelda games. It started with a Majora's Mask with like really weird, very long, drawn out things. It's like you gotta like ride Epona through like this narrow hallway for a little bit, and then like fucking gather up some goats, and then fucking get a hawk to get a carriage, baby carriage back from a monkey, and then like go fishing for a fish, and like then like shoot shit with a slingshot to like impress some like snot-nosed brats in this village.
Yeah,
and
that intro was way too tedious.
Sword, which is just a stick. It's a fucking stick. You use it for like 2 seconds, and then you're forced into wolf mode for like an hour, and then you have to do the fucking Tears of Light thing, and then finally, okay, I'm Link again. I do the first dungeon, and you know what? The first dungeon's okay. It's not great, but it's okay.
I don't even remember the first dungeon.
It's the one where you're like rescuing a bunch of fucking monkeys or whatever
you get
the fuck.
Spank a monkey.
With the Gale, okay.
Yeah,
the Gale Boomerang, yeah.
There was some like cool like visual. I like the giant doors that you could push open, and like it was very different from like other Zelda games. But like anyway, like, and then I find out that you go back into other areas again. You're forced back into wolf mode, and then I look up online. I have to do the Tears of Light thing like 2 or 3 more times. No, fuck this shit. I'm done. No, I hate this. I hate fucking going into wolf mode and not. After you did the first forced wolf segment, you should be able to transform back and forth between the wolf form right away. Why fucking do the Tears of Light segment over and over and over again? It's not. Skyward Sword had a section like this, but it wasn't that bad. At least it had like stealth elements rather than just like go find the shit and you can't go on any further. And they pad out other shit where you like fucking get a monkey to like have you like navigate through this like forest area with like mist or whatever the fuck. It's like that one segment from Ocarina of Time with the ghost, but like slower and shittier. I can't
You
stand
have
this
to
game,
play
y'all.
Left 4 Dead and herd goat at the beginning of the game,
Yeah, fucking hurting ghosts.
and you have
like,
to do it again in order to get a fucking heart piece.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't fucking do it. I hate this opening to this game. Anything that could have come later that would have and like I even looked up a playthrough of this stuff and like there's some cool stuff that happens later, like the ice dungeon where it's
like they literally have the best iterations
going through their house or whatever. Like that's a cool dungeon
double
design.
claw shot. Go ahead, sorry.
But then, like, fucking, like, this game has so much pandering to Ocarina of Time. It's like, remember Ocarina of Time? It's back, but in Pog form.
This
and
is why I like Majora's Mask more than Twilight Princess.
It tries to jack off Ocarina of Time so bad. It wants to be Ocarina of Time so bad. Like, remember the Master Stone? Remember the Temple of Time? Remember Zora's Domain? Yeah, it's all here, bro. Like,
now, I want to add to this.
this.
I want to add to this before you go. I think if they would have cut out the wolf sections entirely, I think Twilight Princess would be a much better game.
If they got rid of the second and third time, yes.
One at a time. One at a time.
My bad. Go ahead.
What did Lily say?
I was saying I would be okay with one forced wolf segment to have like a tutorial. Maybe cut it down by 30 minutes. Like, fucking, we get it. This is how you use the wolf form. And then have a button to transform back and forth. Like, and let's just fucking get on with it.
I agree. The beginning should have been the only time you had to do that. The locked into the wolf thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I will also say, Twilight Princess has, I think, the best Zelda cover art in the series, in my opinion. The best Zelda cover.
The in-game art is really cool too.
The cover is really good. I do like that. I do like the box art of Twilight
Princess.
Like
the darker art style is cool, but it's dated. Like, it's nowhere near as dated as Ocarina of Time, but that game does not look as good as something like Wind Waker would.
Man, that's crazy. Y'all don't.
The game is also just so fucking try hard with the art and everything like that. It's like the edgier version of Ocarina of Time. Ooh yeah, bro. Like it's
crazy that
this game's low tier. Fucking hate it. There's some good stuff later in it. That's why it's not trash. It's at least a decent playable game, but I can't be bothered with it. Low tier.
Someone's mad because Zelda 2 is in trash tier, but that's okay.
It's because you all are bad at games, and you
dude, like Twilight Princess has like some of the best iterations of the weapons you get. The Gale Boomerang, dude. Come on, the double claw shots. I don't know. You know, it is what it is. Go ahead, George. Go ahead. Sorry.
I would say I would put it in top tier.
Fire.
Like, simply because I really did enjoy the game. The intro is long.
It's long. I agree.
I'm not gonna cap. I didn't mind the wolf sections. I'm not gonna say they were my favorite.
Either, honestly.
I'm not gonna say they're my favorite or that, like, bro, remember the part where you got turned into a wolf? Nah. But it didn't annoy me like it did other people. I wasn't like, oh my god. At least the wolf stuff was kind of a nice break from the other stuff. I did like that it was at least there was a story reason as to why you were forced into wolf mode. It wasn't just like, all right, you're just wolf now and that's it. I did like the fact that it had there was a lot of lore in that game too. I also liked going into like Kakariko Village, like that was like behind like the stone wall. You see like a descendant of Impa, if I remember correctly. The Dominion Rod was kind of cool. You get like
Dominion Rod, yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool because you can take over statues. You actually like when you fight like that big spider in the Temple of Time, bro, you just like fucking slamming that bitch. I thought there was a lot of cool moments in Twilight Princess. I really, and Lily said like this game is jerking off Ocarina of Time, and okay, but I don't really think that's a bad thing. Because even though it did do that,
George, that's it. That's all it really has going for it.
But no, what I'm saying is like I really enjoyed the callbacks. I enjoyed seeing Skull Kid again. I enjoyed hearing Saria's song again. Bro, when you go into what was it, the sealed forest or the sacred forest? That was such a cool moment in the game. He's calling down the puppets. You fight him, and you actually travel through time at the Temple of Time. The Temple of Time actually has a dungeon in it. I thought that was really dope. I like that the characters helped you out at the end of the game. That was really cool, and you kind of helped them out throughout the story. I really did enjoy the Death Mountain dungeon, which is like the second dungeon.
Yep.
I thought that was really cool because you have like the magnets with the iron boots and stuff.
The megaton iron boots, or the megaton boots, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Use the magnets. Yeah, it's a fucking dude. I'm telling you,
the music was great, bro. The Hyrule Field theme, bro. Oh my god.
Even though it was still MIDI and not orchestrated.
I mean, it
It's
still sounded good though.
It's the Wii and GameCube.
Yeah.
Skyward Sword had an orchestrated soundtrack, and it sounded amazing.
It was also made for the GameCube.
Right.
Yeah.
That's no excuse.
Let's get
it just blows my mind that people don't like Twilight
Where
Princess.
does it go? Top tier?
Let's vote.
I would say top
Wait,
tier.
I never been addressed.
Yeah, there was still other people. Yeah,
I didn't
guys.
go.
Yeah, there's still other people that need to go, guys.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
yeah.
Richard.
Who didn't go?
So I agree with
Oh.
Melodic. I actually don't like the art style for this game. I think it's muddy and lifeless, and it just
I
looks
like it.
really,
It just doesn't age well.
I
I'm
didn't
so
like it.
mad that you and I agree on this, Richard. But yes, it's ugly looking. I don't like it.
And I think Zant is one of the most underutilized characters in the entire series.
Zant was great.
Fuck Zant.
Zant was cool, though.
Bro.
I
They
like Zant.
fucked them, though. They
Yeah.
fucked them.
Yeah.
To make way for
They could've-
Ganondorf, yeah.
They could have done so much with him, and they didn't.
And then they said,
He was-
"Fuck him, bring back Ganondorf."
He's like, he's just a pawn for Ganondorf. Yeah.
And because we, what the fuck? And because we put Wind Waker in top tier, I gotta put this in mid tier.
Okay.
Because it's
Go
not
ahead,
on
Will.
par with Wind Waker.
All right, William.
Okay, so here comes another unpopular opinion. Clearly, I definitely think Twilight Princess is way better than Wind Waker. First of all, it's also
Damn.
I like the style and the direction that this Zelda game went. And this fun fact: this was the last Zelda game I played and beat before Breath of the Wild, by the way. And I enjoy, other than I was kind of mixed about like making Link turn to a damn wolf in the first place. I thought that shit was corny as fuck. But other than that, like all the characters were cool, the premise, the action, the style. It was just fun. It was just a fun, good Zelda game, and just plain and simple, it should be on top tier level.
Oh my god! What the no?
He's just sharing the same opinion as Prez. This shit's cheating.
No, I'm genuinely being serious on this
Hold on. Yo,
I'm
can I
legit
say
being
this?
serious on
Can
this
I also say this? This tier list is so tough because it sounds like I hate I love Twilight Princess.
I like it
But
too. I
but
don't
we
hate it.
coming
Bro,
from
nah,
an actual.
you guys was bashing Twilight, bro.
No,
Both
but
of y'all was bashing
legit,
the
bro.
fuck out of Twilight
Prez, when you
Princess,
said
dog.
we were doing this, bro, I was like, bro, I'm Triforce J. I gotta take this seriously. So I'm taking this serious. I love Twilight Princess, but as a game, how we doing it? The flaws of the game, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's
And
the
also,
flaws of the game.
There's I mean, it doesn't age well, obviously, and there's some flaws, but bro, I don't get how you guys don't like the more variety of tempos and the characters.
Yeah, the dungeons, I thought the dungeons were really
And
good.
then
Right.
another thing,
It's just
another
diversity,
thing,
dude. It's
another
like-
thing, bro. Another thing. Is, where did you play this game on? Did you play it on the Wii or the GameCube?
Oh, me?
I played it in both. I played it GameCube. I played
When
all
did
three.
you
I beat
first play it?
Twilight
What was your
time.
first playthrough? What was your first
The
one?
Wii.
GameCube?
I had the Wii launch day, so I bought that on Wii, and I bought it on
If you
GameCube later.
played it on GameCube, you got a totally kind of different experience than the person who played it.
It
on
was
the Wii.
mirrored, yeah.
It was mirrored.
I beat
was
it on
weird.
Wii.
I beat it on Wii first time.
Also, we're at the part of the tier list where we're starting to compare it to other games we've already put on the tier list.
Which is true,
So-
but I mean, it's also I feel like I knew Twilight. The later games are definitely gonna have everyone's opinions be different. And this is the first one. I knew this was gonna be the first one that people were gonna. I don't know, but I don't know. Will says top tier since this is one of the few games he's played.
Yeah, I say.
I said top tier. George said top tier. 2 mids, and what?
No, that was
3
like
mids?
No,
it was
it was 4 mid.
4
I
minutes
did
and
low
3.
tier. Fuck this game. I hate it.
And low
Oh.
tier. Okay, so
So
who was the fourth mid?
well,
it was
so
Richard.
it's 3 top, 3 mid, 1 low.
yeah,
So it'd
Yeah.
probably be mid tier.
so it's mid tier.
Let's go mid tier.
Top tier.
No,
Oh man.
Not
Wow.
this time, bitch.
Next,
So
Phantom
Hourglass.
Trash.
I would say
Fire Blast. Go ahead, but trash, garbage.
I
Phantom
fucking
Hourglass.
hate this game.
Yep, trash.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was
I'd
so
say-
bored with this
I'll say
game.
trash
I
tier.
did not beat it.
I didn't even
fucking
beat it
hate
either.
the
Actually,
controls to
now that I
it.
think about it.
I played the first dungeon. I did not like it at all. Like,
Yeah, I'm a little salty right now.
I
guys,
think
sorry.
Phantom Hourglass is better. It's
I do
trash,
too, but they're both trash.
It's
They're trash. Yeah,
They're
honestly, they're
both
trash. All right,
Just put it
I'm
there.
gonna just put it there
There's
anyway,
three
bro.
words that sums up this entire game: touch, screen, controls.
I'd rather take motion controls than touchscreen controls. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next.
trash.
What was
Spirit
that?
Tracks.
Was Spirit Tracks right
Spirit
after?
Tracks, right?
I didn't even play it because I hated Phantom Hourglass so much.
Oh, that one is.
Oh, that one's garbage. But let me see
Hey,
if.
hey. Oh, I want to say I said this before the podcast. Talking to one of my old friends, we talked
Jay's
about
got
it.
a dumb opinion about it.
We talked about it
A trash opinion on it. Go ahead.
in Phantom Hourglass.
Oh yeah, it was.
I
nice
have
one.
to say it's low tier, not trash tier.
Okay, well, we
All
all
right.
said trash. So it's trash.
Okay.
So it's trash. All right.
Now, the argument for Spirit Tracks, though, at least it has really good music. But that's every
Music was
Zelda
cool.
game.
The
But
music
even
is
Zelda
good.
2 had good
Some of the
music.
boss fights are good.
Bro, dude, Spirit Tracks is so trash. Not even Zelda want to be in it. She dies in the beginning.
I know.
Willingly, bro.
I'm gonna
I'm
become a Darknet the entire game.
All right, so trash tier.
Garbage.
After that, Skyward
Next is
Sword.
what? This one, I think, is gonna a lot of people are gonna have some kind of iffy
Yep.
agreement, iffy on it. I'm gonna go first because I have really strong opinions on this. Even though I'm enjoying Skyward Sword HD, my second time playing the game, but I can't take into account that because I haven't beat it yet. So I think it's mid tier. I hated the motion controls. Motion controls. I didn't like it at all. There wasn't much variety of tempos and areas to go to. It was literally just the three same areas you go to. And that one fucking boss fight that you have to fucking fight 10 fucking...
The
I keep forgetting
Imprisoner.
The Imprison. I fucking... Dude. If I got... That just sucks because I know that's coming up. Oh my God,
That shit's gonna be ass.
I'm
I
not looking forward to it, bro.
hate that fucking boss, dude. And the fact that you do it like four times a thing?
Three or four times. 3 or 4 times.
3 or 4 times, dude? Fucking big trash.
Barely
dude.
changes at all, bro. He goes.
So here's some
wings.
positives. Yeah, here's some positives. Some of the best interactions between Zelda and Link in the series.
Agreed, 100%.
Possibly one of the best stories too. The
My
story was
favorite
fantastic. This is the beginning.
incarnations.
Yeah, this is the story was fantastic. The music is fucking. But all I mean, we can't. I mean, can yeah. I mean, but music is all
Battle of
good
the
in all
Goddess
Zelda
is
games.
one of my favorite Zelda themes.
Yeah, great music. The interactions between Zelda and Link were fantastic. The story is one of the best stories ever. Some of the, but I will agree, the boss fights were great. So a lot of them were unique. The Girahim, the last Girahim boss fight, just the Demise boss fight was good too. But just how it played, dude. The balancing with the Wiimote, fucking on the tight ropes, how you fucking the bird. You know what I mean? Just like the motion controls killed it for me, and I'm gonna say mid tier because of that.
I'll go next on this one.
But
So there's a lot that I love about this game. I love the story. I think it's one of my favorites in the franchise because it's the origin to every single Zelda game.
it's the beginning.
Link and Zelda, especially Zelda in this case, they're my favorite incarnations because Zelda, of course, is starting to learn about her goddess powers and how she's a descendant of Hylia, and she's kind of going through her own little journey while Link is going through the hero's journey. Playing through the beginning of the game, you just see how much their relationship's adorable. I don't want to be soft, but their relationship's adorable. It has a lot of fantastic side characters like Groose, who's basically like Gaston from Beauty and the Beast. He's an absolute cool character, and you learn to like him later on in the game. Shoot, I don't like the linearity of it. I hate that you have
It's
to
very
backtrack.
linear.
And this is coming from somebody who likes Metroidvania games, but I don't like the fact that you have to backtrack through everything. Although I think near the end of the game, when you go back to the Desert Temple where you have to go through that boss gauntlet, I really love that. I think more Zeldas should open
the
up
Hylian
to
shield?
do that more. Yeah, and then yeah, the music is this is probably one of my favorite soundtracks in the series. I love Ballad of the Goddess. That goosebumps every single time you listen to that theme. I agree with Cupcake Prez because of the Doki Doki icon right there. The motion controls for flying the bird, ass. I don't like it at all. The combat is fun with the motion controls, at least on the Wii version.
Yeah.
The Switch version, at least in the environment and how I'm streaming it and everything, I don't know how I feel about it, but based off the Wii version of the game, I actually really love the motion controls. Although they could get a little bit too silly at times with the dowsing ability and all that. See, this is where it's gonna get hard because I don't think it's 100% top tier, but there's
You don't
enough
think it's mid
arguments
either?
to be made. There's enough arguments to be made for mid tier, but I think because of the story, because of the characters and all that, I'm gonna edge it a tiny bit to top tier. But if it goes to mid tier, I'm not offended by that at all.
Oh, it's like how you agree, how I said about Minish Cap. Top tier, but you can understand mid tier. I want to go next on this one. I want to go next on this one.
Go ahead.
Let's just get like the bad out the way. The motion controls kind of suck, for sure. The linearity is fucking terrible. The fact that you got to go in the sky to go anywhere. If you could just walk to these areas, like go to the edge of these areas and just like, or teleport to them. You know what I'm saying? Walk to the edge of them and teleport them instead of going back in the sky. It would be better. The good things about this, like we said, the Zelda Link interaction is great. The art style is really good. The crafting system, I loved the whole upgrade system that they had in this game. Like I wish that Breath of the Wild used it more to upgrade and fix weapons and shit like that. I hope more Zelda games going forward uses the upgrade and crafting system, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another negative real quick.
Wings?
The stamina bar. Sorry,
Yep.
and that's it.
Yep. The fact that the Loftwing has been on the Hylian shield since what do we say, George? What game did we go back to?
Ocarina of Time.
It was a game before that though, right? Let's just say Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
The Loftwing has been on the Hylian shield since Ocarina of Time, bro. And for them to utilize it, to have the hindsight to say this is what it is crazy.
Yep.
The fucking in prison fight, that shit sucks.
Oh yeah.
That does suck.
It's
When
really
you
bad.
fight, like you hate Groose so much to start, and like Melodic said, he redeems himself at the end. When
I still don't like him.
When I found out that the old lady was Impa, fucking,
That was
fucking,
kinda
I was
wild.
like, that was wild
Yeah,
as
that was
fuck.
wild. Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
You
Like,
still
yo,
alive?
that's crazy.
Oh,
you
shit.
still alive, bitch? You know what I'm saying?
You alive?
You still.
Yo,
The
what?
wa- cistern with the fucking, what do you call that boss, bro? Like the fucking the
Was it
colossal boss.
Colossus? Yeah, it's the
Colossus,
robot
bro.
where you have to like cut off the fucking
Yeah,
limbs.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking
Those
about
and stuff,
the
yeah.
cistern is a beaut. It looks so beautiful, even with the Wii
That
graphics,
sounds awesome.
bro.
That was a
It
great
looks
boss fight.
amazing. That's one I'm ready to see that in 1080p, bro. I am ready to see it.
Yeah.
I'm ready to
This is so
fight
sad
that
we can't
fucking
say
boss, bro.
1440 or 4K, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm ready to see
Excited
that,
for
bro.
1080.
Like
Went with the Dolphins for the high resolution one.
this,
Yep.
being able to see fucking Skirvo. To see
Yo,
how that
Skirbo
looks
is one of my
in 1080,
favorite
bro.
dungeons, dude.
Like
The pirate
it
ship,
has,
dude.
it has Skyward Sword has some of the best dungeons and boss fights in the entire series, bro. Not just one. We talking about definitely two, maybe even three of them. I just think two, personally. You know what I'm saying? I think this game is top tier. It is better than Minish Cap. I think it's on par. It's better than Ages. I think it's on par with Wind Waker. I think it's better than Twilight Princess. It's top tier.
Oh man, bro.
I think it's top tier, bro.
So top
Wait,
Top
hang on.
tier.
On par with Wind Waker? What the fuck?
Top tier.
That's
What-
cap, dog.
Okay, let me cap that. That's cap. You right.
Alright, don't go that far, bro.
That's cap. You right.
Don't go
I just love the game. Top tier. I don't see
I'm
it
actually-
being mid tier at all.
I want George to go next because I've never really heard him give an actual opinion on Skyward Sword. He's kind of avoided it from what I've noticed when we talk about it. So I want go ahead, George. I want to hear what you say about Skyward Sword.
Well, first things first. I mean, I guess we'll talk about the bad shit right off the bat. Obviously, motion controls are not good. I will say, and I think I kind of talked about it a little bit last night when we were playing. I don't like the segregated areas. I don't like the fact that
Just jump over, press Y. See?
I don't like the fact that when you go down to the surface and they hype the surface up so much, like, oh, bro, the surface is so, it's like, it's unsettled, you know, there's so much shit. And then when you get there, it's kind of disappointing because you kind of go through the same areas. Granted, as you go
the same 3 areas.
Yeah, they do uncover other areas as you go through the story, but it's pretty much the same. You can't get from one place to the other. You got to go down the specific hole in the sky to get to Elden Volcano. You know, it's just, I don't like that the surface was underwhelming, considering the fact that they were talking about the surface like it was going to be like this big thing. I did like Demise. I did like the fact that, you know, I did like how they explained why there's a cycle in the first place.
Yep.
The graphics, to me, I'm not really a fan of, because I know.
Oh, yeah. I want to say that, please.
Go ahead.
Fuck Slink's fucking face. Please, I hate his eyes. I hate his fucking mouth. I hate
I don't think
everybody's
the
mouth.
faces don't look bad to me
I
personally.
hate
It's not like-
everybody's mouth in this
Like,
game.
honestly,
dog.
like,
It
okay.
it fucking bothers me. dog.
The art style, to me, it just doesn't really, it doesn't hit for me, bro. Like, I know it's supposed to be like an impressionist painting. That's what everybody was saying back when the game came
Claude
out.
Monet.
The limitations, right? Because of the limitations
Because
of the Wii, right? So it's
limitations,
kinda like,
but I still don't like it. You know, it's supposed to be
That's
like
the one thing I hate about the Switch version is they kind of take out those little impressionist dots that are rendered in the distance.
Yeah.
I think that kind of loses some of the art style. My bad. Continue.
No, you good. I just think that the art style, for how people explained it, like, oh, bro, it's like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, you know, together, all that, whatever. No, I think it's kind of like this weird combination that I think, I don't know, it just didn't look right to me. I felt like the side quests were not that great.
fetch quests. They're all fetch quests.
A lot
literally.
of fetch quests. Skyloft, the main area of Skyloft, okay, it's pretty cool, but outside,
Breaks there.
when you're in the sky, it's really not much.
Rocks.
It's
Just
barren.
rocks in the air,
just
bro.
rocks.
Yeah, I mean, Jay, you want to talk about barren, bro? Skyloft's kind of barren.
Skyward Sword, bro.
You're right, bro.
Yeah,
We talked about it. We talked about it, bro. Like, the only thing to do up there is that little fucking the fucking bamboo thing, and the clown.
The stupid like
Pumpkin-
pumpkin heart
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
and the clown thing, the little
Yeah,
clown. Little
but other than that,
banner
bro,
thing.
Yeah, the game.
just kind of, you know, whatever, boring. And then when you get to the surface, like I said, like, oh, bro, the surface is like one big puzzle. You gotta like figure out puzzles to get through it. Like, I'm like, bro, I kind of didn't want to. I just want to, like, sometimes you don't want to keep doing puzzles all the goddamn time. You just want to explore.
True.
You know what
Yo,
I'm saying?
and hero mode is pointless in this game because as soon as you find the heart medallion and put it in your pouch, all the hearts appear out in the field.
This is
So it makes it pointless.
It's such an easy Zelda game. This is probably one of the easiest Zelda games of all time. I mean, considering the fact that they give you 6 hearts from the start.
Right, the start.
You know,
Yeah.
it's just
And the side missions aren't that hard to figure out. I think it's like after the first dungeon, you return to Skyloft at nighttime, and that's
Yeah.
where you go and activate the side quests.
yeah. I do
From
like
what I remember.
I do like Zelda and Link's interactions. I do like Impa in this game. I think Impa is great. Fuck Groose. I don't care if he redeemed himself. I don't like Groose.
Facts, dude.
I just don't like
Bro,
him.
the double claw shot, the whip, bro.
The double
the
claw shot
Gale
was cool.
Buster,
The
bro.
whip, I did.
The items,
But it wasn't cool in Twilight Princess, though, right, Dre? Oh, you're not sorry. I'm sorry,
the
bro. I'm just
dungeons,
like-
I did like the ship, the ancient ship or whatever. That was cool. I like kind of like how you get to it. I like the time stone mechanic. I thought that was dope. The dragons were cool. Forging the Master Sword was dope because I was like oh
Yeah.
shit, you actually make the Master Sword. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yo, you are kind of right though. The item selection was weak in Skyward Sword.
It was
Yeah.
very few, bro. Very few.
But the whip, I think the best one was the whip and the Gale. What is it called? The Gale Guster, whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, you mean like
Yeah.
the one that shoots wind
The-
or whatever?
Yeah.
Reverse vacuum shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then so overall, I think it's mid, bro. I
hate that
just
they used the fucking bug net as an item too. My bad. I'm sorry.
I just think it's mid just because there are positives, but I think a lot of the negatives just the Skyward Sword was so linear and so made you feel so like, okay, you got to go down the step path. That's why Breath of the Wild.
And
is-
you know what's crazy? most Legend of Zelda games are pretty linear, but Skyward Sword was probably the most linear.
It was so obvious
That
that it
shit
was
held
linear.
your hand.
You know,
dog.
Yeah,
like really super linear compared to the other ones
especially
in the series.
with feet.
I will also
Or
say
five.
this, bro. I will also say just to speak on more of the upgrade system, bro.
Yeah,
The fact that I think you can upgrade your wallet like 5 times.
you can upgrade. Yeah,
You can upgrade your shield.
I do
like
the
10
upgrade system.
10
That was
times,
fun.
bro. You can
although
upgrade your
Jay,
shield, like,
honestly,
10
bro,
times.
I don't like the upgrade to the wallets. I think wallets should just be unlimited, bro. That's just me.
Great.
But how you think you should start off with like just a $1 million?
Yeah,
At least 1,000.
you should.
What's the point of catching the bugs and getting those
Well,
items?
upgrade your other shit. Why do you gotta upgrade your wallet?
Okay, I
Yep.
I understand you.
That's
I
just
understand you.
you know why? Because
It's
I
like
hate.
saying like if you have your yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I was just saying because like I hate going to a chest, 20 rupees. You can't get it. Put it back in.
You
that
can't
bitch.
get it.
Like, bro,
Yeah.
I fucking hated that, bro. Fuck that. It's a low tier now, bro. Thanks, Jay. That bitch a low. Nah, I'm just kidding. It's a mid tier,
Okay.
bro.
Mid tier.
It's mid
I
tier.
understand,
Lily.
like, but how many potions did you have in this? Like, you had so
We
many
gotta get
different,
to
like,
Lily.
potions and shit. It's-
Yeah, we got.
it's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah, we got. What's
Yeah,
up?
we're gonna start
So-
speeding up. Yeah, the last couple
Yeah.
games. So
So, I think it's a mid tier for me, but for like different reasons. Like,
Mhm.
for one thing, I didn't really have a problem with the motion controls. In fact, I'm so used to playing this game with motion controls that I can't like imagine. Like honestly, if I'm being real, like using the stick to do the sword swipes just sounds awkward as fuck, and I don't think I'm ever going to use that. I'll probably use the split Joy-Con method if I ever do decide to play the HD version of this game. The only time that the motion controls I found like it didn't work was the tightrope sections, and even then you can kind of flex with it and kind of like bullshit your way through those segments a little bit. But I don't know. For the most part, I didn't really have a problem with the motion controls. They didn't really add. Well, I kind of like the fact that you could like enemies have like openings and weak spots, and like you had to like watch them as they guard themselves. Like that's kind of cool. But like other than that, like the motion controls themselves didn't really add a whole lot to the game.
The loft wing. Why did that have to be motion?
Yeah, the
controls?
loft wing could have just used
That could have
button
been the
controls.
stick.
But
Yep.
then again, also it's just not a thing. After it's just like, okay, this is how I play the game, and whatever. I don't really care.
Mhm.
The game is linear, but like I don't necessarily think that just because a game is linear doesn't means that it's automatically bad. But like people do say oh, you have to go back through the same areas. It's like, well, yeah, but like when you go back to the old areas, it basically unlocks new areas that you go to that has like the next dungeons in them. And I don't know, I kind of like the fact that you could, that everything was an open world, and like again, Zelda is like this is best Zelda in all of the entire series. Like she is so fucking adorable, like fucking best Zelda in the entire series. But yeah, just I thought I liked a lot of the dungeons, like that again. That boss fight from the ancient cistern, the
That was a good
Clocktus?
boss fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
Clocktus,
it's
yeah.
a great boss fight.
yeah,
Yeah, I like him.
But I don't know, like this game kind of felt like it was. It felt like it was kind of going through the motions a little bit. Like it just kind of felt like yet another.
Very formulaic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very formulaic, and like.
Mm.
There was some stuff that like kind of, but it just felt like I was playing Ocarina of Time again. Like for the most part, it just felt like a lot of the same stuff is there. Like they have different items and like the motion controls that are tacked on, but like for the most part, this game just felt like Ocarina of Time for the 4th time, and
What?
I was ready to just like move on to what. Thank God, Breath of the Wild like reinvented 3D Zelda. Like I was just kind of getting tired of the current format for 3D Zeldas.
Mhm.
And some other games that are coming up outside of Breath of the Wild also help invigorate the series for me and like really do different things in ways that actually felt like they're
Yeah.
like there's actual substance behind them. So definitely not a bad game. I think it would be on the higher end of mid, but I still think this is a mid game ultimately.
Okay. Go ahead, Rich.
This game is some big ass, dude. fucking
All right.
like you guys said, the fucking gameplay is terrible. I agree. It's probably one of the best Zeldas. But then you got fucking Groose, the biggest scumbag in the series, and then you got fucking Girahim. He just exists, I guess. But I've never been more mad
Garrickham's
at
badass. I don't care what anybody says.
Nah,
It's
I-
badass.
I have never been more mad at a Zelda game than getting a fucking Rupor and having Link's fucking stupid face frowning in front of me. It makes me so mad every time I see it.
Can I say one more thing? Since
Go ahead.
I forgot to talk about Girahim. Like, Girahim's got some mad gay energy going on, and I fucking love that about him.
So that
I wouldn't be surprised.
so
Honestly.
this fucking game is low tier.
Okay. We're gonna start speeding through. We'll get Clueless. Go ahead, Clueless. Go real quick. Get your grade on. How you feel about
Skyward
Skyward
Sword.
Sword?
Worst 3D Zelda game by far. If this game is not in
We
trash
can't.
tier,
You're
this
really
You're
low.
coming in a little low, Clueless.
hold on. Yeah, try to figure it out.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me better now?
No,
Right.
you're still
Should I
super
play
soft.
music or
Sounds like you're
something?
1,000 miles away from your mic.
Yeah, actually, it does.
Hello.
Hello, that's
Yeah,
better.
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so we're talking about Skyward Sword, you said, right?
Yeah.
Literally the worst 3D Zelda game, hands down, by far. Literally the worst one, bro.
All right. So we
Hold
got
on. So you have.
two trash.
You know how hard it is to have a character that's more annoying than Navi, and you have fucking
Yeah,
five.
you're right.
Oh my god!
They really tried,
Like,
Clueless.
you literally have to go out of your way to make a character that's more annoying than Navi. Like, why would they do that? Like, why? Not to mention, I'm also pissed off at the fact this game, one of the quality of life changes inside of the game was
Not talking
in an
about that.
amiibo.
We're not talking about that.
We're just talking about the original one.
We're talking about the
Oh, okay. The original one.
Game.
Let's talk about the fact that possibly this game was rushed, because if you didn't do when the game first dropped, if you did a certain temple in a different order, you would not be able to progress in the game at all.
Yeah, you
That
had to download a patch on the Wii Shop channel in order to fix that. You are right
Yeah.
about that.
That's true.
Yeah. When has
forgot
that
about
ever
that,
happened?
actually, now that I
When has
think
that
about it,
happened with
yeah.
another Legend of Zelda game?
I mean, Ocarina of Time.
There was a
If you
glitch in
grab-
Ocarina of Time.
In the water,
Key,
temple,
the water
in the
temple
water
is the key
temple,
thing.
if you unlock the wrong door, you just completely.
Oh yeah, you're soft
you have
locked.
to
Yeah.
start over. You start
Yeah.
off
Oh,
soft locked.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. I understand that. But,
Yeah, but
like,
that was their first attempt at a 3D game, though.
yeah,
When
exactly.
that ever happened, that's the goat, and it happened in the goat.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone would make that mistake though. Honestly, I've never had that happen to me. with
It
the
never
Water
happened
Temple.
to me. For I just know it's possible to do.
How
Yeah.
dare that person try to do things out of order?
I've heard rumors of that happening in
I
the
heard
Water
that
Temple.
too
I've
back
never
then.
thought that
It never
it's
happened to
actually
me.
possible.
It never happened to me either.
Yeah.
Plus,
So go
like,
ahead, real-
out of all the 3D Zeldas, Skyward Sword has the most forgettable characters and most forgettable story. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know.
I'm sorry.
Nah,
I'm
you
sorry.
lied. Yeah, he's
I'm so dead ass, bro.
Skyward Sword Zelda
No,
is so good though.
Let's be real. Let's be real here. If y'all had not just started replaying Skyward Sword again, would y'all remember the plot?
Bro, I'm only
remember the
20
plot.
minutes. I'm only 20
Yeah, I
minutes
do.
in. I'm only 20 minutes
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
The plot.
I still remember
all the
the
major
story.
stuff.
The
Yeah.
plot. What do you
I
mean? The
remember
plot
how
is the
that-
plot.
how
The
Zelda
plot is
is
the
back
beginning
then.
of the timeline, bro. How you
Twilight
not gonna
Princess was
remember that?
forgettable compared to Skyward Sword in terms of
Skyward
plot.
fucking fuck Twilight Princess.
Hey, don't be saying that stuff. Okay. Well,
Not to
go ahead,
mention
give us a-
the terrible
give us your
motion
tier.
controls that it's already been. Oh, trash tier, absolutely. It should be at the bottom of trash tier,
Wow.
the very
Damn.
last spot.
Alright, so trash.
No, it's
Alright.
it's not worse than Spirit Tracks.
Is
It's
not.
the worst 3D.
That's
It's
fucking
basically 3D Spirit Tracks, bro. Like
Damn.
that's
That's the alternate
Like,
title, bro.
God.
That's what they were calling it behind the scenes. And this is 3D.
All right.
Okay, so
Rank.
two was it two trash tiers? Oh no, one low tier. One trash tier,
one
one
low
low tier.
3 top tiers.
3
Was
top
it three?
tiers and what?
Yeah.
3 mid tiers?
Wow, who the fuck put
Oh,
this in
Will.
the top tier?
Will,
Wait, I heard
go ahead,
a
Will.
couple top
Here's
tiers.
how I did it. I was going between top and mid, but since I like this a little bit more than Twilight, I'm edging it to top tier just because of the story.
But that's what you said anyway.
More than Twilight Princess?
Yeah, I think it's.
Y'all,
This is over
y'all,
with.
hey man, cocaine is a hell of a drug. That's all I'm gonna say.
We've been doing it.
William,
Sounds like it's from the
Will,
early
give us-
2000s Xbox Live. Too.
It's
All right,
not
guys, all right.
fair.
Come
It's
on,
not
let's
fair.
hear-
that
Let's
we
hear what
need
William's got to
tiebreakers
say, everybody. Let's
Up
hear
to
what...
William, bro. It's not fair that William get the tiebreak, bro. That's not fair.
No,
It's
no,
not
because
fair
what's
that
the
Clueless
tiebreaker
is
between what?
going in last minute.
No, it's all good. It's all good. So
Just where do you put
Skyward?
Skyward? Where do you
Low, mid, or top? So what's the debate?
just where do you put Skyward?
Where do you
Sword?
put it?
Zelda's hot, so top tier
Top tier.
in Skyward Sword.
All right,
So how
so
many?
Oh, but now Melodic wants to agree with him. You agree with your big brother now, right?
damn.
Oh, now it's fair though, right?
Damn.
This guy's talking about it's not fair before.
So
Get
what
the
is that,
fuck
2
out
top
of here,
tiers?
bro.
I said FBI open up because
Not
Zelda's
fair.
17 in that game.
Come on, y'all.
Jay and Melodic.
Hey, hey.
It's 3
Come on,
top.
guys. We got,
It's 3 top
let's
tiers
be out.
and 3 mid tiers and 1 low tier and 1 trash tier. So
In
it's
top
tied.
tier.
It's tied between 3
So
top
it
tiers.
should go to mid then.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, no, because
Zelda's
Will
hot
just
in that
said
game.
top tier, right?
Yeah, that's
So
why
it's
it's
tied
it's
3-3.
tied. It's
we
tied
have
3-3.
we have one in low and trash.
Yeah,
that kind of
one
brings
low.
it down.
So what? I don't.
Low tier
it'd
then.
probably be
It's better than Majora's Mask.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
better
put it-
than
put it
Age,
low
it's
tier.
Better than
Low tier?
mid
Twilight.
tier.
Don't put it on low tier. Don't put it on low tier.
Wait, hold on.
Mid
Put it
tier.
on
Mid
mid
tier.
tier.
What Lotus I'll go to mid tier. There's so many fucking
Skyward Sword is better than Majora's Mask? Are you dead ass?
Yeah.
Are you dead ass?
Fucking
So
Majora's
just put it in low
Mask
tier and
is
let's move
fucking
on.
ass.
Lewis, I
Wow,
was-
that's
Alright.
honestly insane,
I was trying
bro.
to tell him to put Majora in God tier.
That's low tier. All right.
It's where it
Yeah,
should
we
be.
got
The game
All right,
is
all right,
Ocarina of
hey,
Time.
hey, we gotta move on. We gotta move on. We gotta move on.
How is
Way
it
too
low
long already.
tier?
All right.
How is
Oh my
it low
God.
tier?
So
Just put it in mid tier. It's mid because it has. Nah, put it in mid because you know why? There was a lot of good. There's 3 goods. You know what I mean? Just put it in mid. I think I agree. I think it should be mid.
all right,
Yeah, I
Okay.
definitely think it should be mid.
and that's
'cause-
the end of that. We're moving on to
Yes.
A Link Between Worlds.
Yes, let's go.
A Link Between
Yes.
Worlds.
Between Worlds,
God
God
tier.
tier. The greatest
God
2D
tier.
game ever made.
I
The
would
greatest
say
2D game ever
top tier, better than
God
A Link
tier.
to the Past objectively.
made. God tier.
I agree with that. God
That
tier.
is
It's
better
that
than,
is the best 2D game
I'm
ever
sorry,
made.
Lily. It's better than A Link to the Past. I'm sorry.
I'm
Wall
gonna say-
mechanic is.
I don't think it's God tier, but I'd
especially
say
in
top tier.
I'm gonna time.
I'm
It's
gonna say
God
top
tier.
tier as well. I
It's
really
God
enjoyed
tier.
my
Top
playthrough
tier.
of it as well.
Top
God
tier.
tier. God tier.
God,
tier.
it's God tier.
God tier.
Yes.
God tier.
God tier.
Way.
It's only 2 God tier Zelda games, bro, and this is one of
Oh
them.
my god.
There's only, bro. Technically, there's only one on my tier list, and it's the one that's in there right now. Fucking.
Bro,
But
a Link
A close
Between
second
Worlds
would
is
be Breath of
not
the
God
Wild,
tier,
legit.
bro.
It was really good. Definitely top tier for sure. At
It's top
least.
tier.
Well, let me
God tier.
let me
At least.
interject in here. Since A Link to the Past is not God tier, I think A Link Between Worlds should be, because honestly, I think this adds a lot more to the gameplay to the A Link to the Past map than the original game does because of the wall mechanics and all that stuff. The only problem is the game is kind of easy because you can rent all your items. So if we put A Link Between Worlds in top tier, I think we should move A Link to the Past to God tier. Just to give Ocarina another game right next to it.
No, because Ocarina of Time is the only God tier.
Well,
It's not.
I
it's
pers-
not. It's
no,
not.
I
yeah,
personally think.
You know,
to be there.
After hearing what Melodic had to say about it, you know what? I have to agree with him. Actually,
It's God tier. Link Between Worlds is God tier. It's
Because
either
we can't
listen,
just-
listen.
we can't-
It's
hold on,
either
hold on, hold on,
Ocarina
hold
of Time and Link to the Past is God tier, or Ocarina of Time and Link Between Worlds is God tier.
Yeah, I think there should be one 2D and one
deserve to
3D
be God
Zelda in
tier.
God tier.
I think
No,
it's fair to have
there's
to
only
be
one
angry.
God tier game, and that's
you
fucking-
can't say no. You can't say that when Link Between Worlds is fucking what's the name off of Link to the Past. You can't say all 3 of them are. When Link Between Worlds does shit better.
Link Between Worlds is better than Link to the Past.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
but I'm
it's
saying we
so
should
it's God tier.
Agreed.
at least one of the 2D games need to go to God tier. 'Cause-
I agree with that.
I will say this about Link Between Worlds: best Zelda. Like how she like her design is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Her clothes and stuff like that.
Hilda,
yeah,
bro? You mean Hilda, bro? Hilda.
Hilda's cool.
Hilda's cool.
I think top tier.
I like Yuga also.
I also say top tier.
I like
I
the
don't think
witch
it's top
too.
tier.
The
I
one
think
that
it has to be.
transports
I think it has to be.
I
God tier,
think
bro.
it's fair because we have 2 different categories of Zelda games that I think we should have a 2D in God tier as well.
Okay,
So
so
it's
No,
either
not really.
this one or Link to the
all
Past.
right, so
and we have 2 top tier right now.
yeah, and 3 god
And-
tier.
Yep, God tier wins, bro. That's it.
What about William? What do you think?
I say top tier.
Yeah, you and Georgia top tier,
I never played this one, so I can't judge it.
and then me, Jay, and Melodic are God tier right now.
I'm also a God tier.
Well,
That
let's-
makes
all right,
sense.
so-
And Clueless.
I'm also God tier.
That makes
And
sense.
okay,
And
that's
Lily,
that's
yeah,
that's
so
five.
it's
That's
God
5
tier.
to
This
2.
is crazy. This is fucking crazy. Legit.
Have you
the
not
only
played A Link Between Worlds, bro?
I have, and I say I
That's a
enjoyed it, but it's
fantastic
not.
game.
It's not a. It's
So-
a fantastic. It's not a god tier game. The next,
definitely
the next
is.
God tier
So,
game.
we
It
voted.
The next
definitely
closest
is.
game that's god tier is Breath of the Wild, bro. No shit, fucking cap.
I don't know.
We'll take our time to get there. So
That's
we
gonna be
voted.
another contention game, so let's start it.
So
What
what
is
is
the,
it?
the next one is the Four Swords,
You know
right?
what?
It's Triforce Heroes.
It's
Next
I
is
never played. I never
Trash.
played it,
Trash.
so I can't
Trash.
vote
It's trash.
tier.
It's
Trash.
fun, but it's trash.
All right, so Breath of the
No,
Wild.
hey,
I put a zero vote, sort of?
I would.
Oh,
I
are
would
we
put.
talking the previous game? Can't put a tier below trash tier.
I would put it at low tier because you can play it by yourself.
But why
can.
would
But
you
it's
though?
still
So-
boring by yourself.
Why would you want to play
I
with yourself?
think it's.
Oh,
on par.
I was
think
thinking
it's on
about the
par
other
with
Four
I think
Swords
it's on
game.
par
I
with
was
Four
like, I thought
Swords.
the other Swords game was not that bad, but it's in low tier.
I think it's on par with Four Swords on GameCube.
I cannot believe A Link Between Worlds is god tier.
Yeah, bro.
It's
Listen,
fucking great.
bro, listen. If you talk like it's either I know people who put Link to the Past as the only
Honestly, we can make the argument that Link to the Past
is better than Link to
and
the World.
Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds can both be in God tier. You can make that argument.
Clue is.
Yeah,
that is true.
God tier games though, bro. God tier.
I don't know about
The
that
best of the
because
best.
A Link to the
Yeah, and A
Past.
Link to the Past is
A Link
arguably
to
one
the
of the
Past,
best 2D
yes.
Zelda games to this
So-
day.
That's true.
We also have Breath of the Wild coming up, and I know there's going to be people saying that Breath of the Wild should be in God tier, so that means we're going to have 2 3D games in God tier.
I like how they use
I-
the Wii U cover.
No, I think Breath
I know,
of the
right?
Wild is great. I think Breath of the Wild is great.
It could be in God tier.
So we're moving on to Breath of the Wild.
Okay,
Breath
we
of
need
the Wild is
to
top tier.
we need to agree. We need to find out what we want A Link Between Worlds. I think it's top tier. It's hard to have, bro. I just don't see having 2 Zelda games as god
We
tier.
already
There's only
decided,
one.
bro.
Yeah, we already took a vote.
5-2.
God
Yeah.
tier.
Yeah,
5-2.
it's 5-2.
5-2 God
Are you
tier.
fucking serious, dude? You know
Dead
what?
fucking
Let's get the
serious.
Let's go to
Dead
fucking
Dead
Breath of the Wild.
serious.
Let's go to Breath of the Wild. Whatever. I don't
Breath-
agree with it being god tier, but okay.
I have Breath of the Wild in top tier. It's at the top of
I
God
would
tier.
say
I
top
have
tier.
it top tier.
I would say top tier.
It's the,
So,
very first,
what-
it's the very first spot in top tier.
Yes.
Yes.
When I originally when I originally beat Breath of the Wild 1, I said it was the greatest Zelda ever. A year passes by. You know how sometimes you have second opinion. You start thinking about, okay, you know what? I really enjoy Breath of the Wild, but I've only played it once.
Yeah.
And while the story is okay, is okay, you have to like fight the story with the past memories. You know what I
Oh my
mean?
god.
Yeah.
There's not much variety of enemies in the open world. The open world can be a little boring.
The dungeons aren't great.
There's no
dungeons
true
were
dungeon.
No
kinda,
real
you know what I mean?
dungeons. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like what makes it so great is like I feel like Nintendo took a huge chance on making an open world because this is like their first attempt at even doing an open world game, and I feel like they executed pretty
True
damn
open
well.
world game. A true
True open world.
Yeah,
and I feel like they
true
executed
open
pretty well at their first attempt. I like the weapon breaking system. I like that. I like picking up on multiple weapons. You know, I love that aspect of
Nintendo,
it. The
please
Guardian
put the
thing.
Skyward Sword shit in it. Please, the Skyward Sword upgrade system, bro.
You know what I mean? I just like I also wish another knockback on it is I wish they kind of had like if that was like your favorite sword, like your shield, you could repair it.
Yes,
Instead
bro.
of just breaking
The
it.
Skyward
You know what I mean?
Upgrade it.
The sequel
Yeah.
needs a repair
Skyward Sword,
system.
Skyward
repair
Sword,
system.
you have the guy who repairs your shit. Your shield,
Yeah.
it repairs your shield, and your like. Why isn't he there?
Yeah.
You
There
collect
should- overall,
there should be like a
what was I
blacksmith
saying last night?
character.
You
You
know?
know?
It's kind of wild. Games focus is
Close.
But the art
This is
style,
what
the aesthetic,
Go ahead,
the combat, the art style, the aesthetic, the combat, just I don't know. It's absolutely amazing. I feel like Nintendo just did a absolutely fantastic job. With the it just man, it's a fucking great game. I loved it. And I know a lot of people don't like the music. I think the music, while it's not the best in the Zelda series, was pretty damn good.
It's minimalistic.
It fit the theme of the game, honestly.
Can I go next? Hateno Village, dude.
Oh, that was really good.
You heard the fucking bagpipes in that fucking song, bro? Oh my god, dude.
The bagpipe.
Bro, like, but the
beautiful, dude.
The worst part is that the best song was only the trailer song.
Yep.
True. And
that song wasn't even in the game.
Bro, to this day, I went back and watched that, bro. I'd be fucking tearing up, bro.
But that trailer was the best trailer ever.
Amazing, bro.
For a Zelda
also,
game.
they implemented voice acting, and I think they did a good job for their first time putting voice acting into Legend of Zelda.
I agree, for the most part.
It's half and half for me on that one.
Yeah, I like Zelda's British accent. I think that
actually did not like Zelda's voice in this game.
I was not a fan
I
of the
didn't
British
mind
accent
it.
either.
It wasn't my
I
favorite.
understand it's because she's royalty, but I was not a big fan of it, honestly.
Hey, as long as my nigga Link ain't talking, if he do talk, all I want my nigga
Link talking at all.
If my nigga Link talk, bro, listen. If my nigga Link talk, all of a sudden, bro, what the fuck?
I wonder what Ganon's up to.
I
like the champions. I thought that was a pretty nice touch.
Yeah.
I like the champions. I don't like the descendants or whatever.
Yeah.
They were.
They could have done a better job with the descendants. I think, honestly.
Yeah.
To me.
Can I go next?
But overall, I'm gonna say top tier. I'm gonna say.
You can
go ahead, Lily.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I will say that this game did a lot right, and it definitely put a real shot in the arm of the 3D Zelda formula. Like, it needed it at this point. It was getting stale. Like, going from Twilight Princess to Skyward Sword, like, the Skyward Sword got some things a little bit better, but it was just getting stale. We needed something new. And I think Breath of the Wild, like, it set the foundation for a lot of things. Like, this has by far been the best open world, or the best overworld that a Zelda game's ever had.
Yeah,
the overworld is like it takes center stage in the entire game.
Definitely needs to be more lively in the next one, though.
I mean,
yeah, we need more stuff.
We
need more stuff.
More enemy varieties too. I think.
Yeah, more enemy. But I would say, like, I would like to see more enemy varieties and things like the shrines and the dungeons. Like, if we had, like,
true dungeons
in like the dungeon, I would like to see the Wizrobes be in the dungeons. And, like, an example, like, I'd like to see things like
we need like
and Dark Nuts and
actual dungeons back, because the shrines were just glorified mini games, bro. Like,
yeah.
Well, I don't understand.
I don't mind them bringing the shrines back. I just want dungeons, like true dungeons, in the second one. But we're getting off topic. We got a
sorry. But I was gonna actually get to that, where I honestly felt like the shrines were more enjoyable to play than the Divine Beast. The Divine Beast.
Some of them were. Some of them were.
Yeah.
Some of the shrines
some of the shrines were just like.
There was a good portion of shrines where you're like,
I mean, the shrines weren't like great or anything, but like
some of them were though. Some of them were
just like. If we had the shrine system come back in Breath of the Wild 2, and then had like actual proper dungeons on top of that, like a good solid 8 proper dungeons, like that would.
Ooh, you pushing it?
Maybe 6, bro. Like,
6, nigga. 6 is Nintendo, nigga. 2, nigga. What are you talking about?
One dungeon. That's it.
One dungeon. And it's the final one.
In the original Legend of Zelda, like
it better have more than 5. It better have more than 5.
It should be more than 5, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
It's a big world, bro. This is a huge world. It better be more than 5, bro.
I'm hoping for 8, just like classic Legend of Zelda. 8 dungeons, solid number. I think they can do it. But like,
go next.
Yeah, I'll put the game at top tier. It's good. I don't like the weapon degradation system. I do like how they did the Master Sword, though. Master Sword was, done really well. It harkens back to the original Legend of Zelda of needing enough hearts to get it, and like it definitely felt like an upgrade with like the whole, breaking weapons thing. You always have a weapon in your inventory, and it's always a solid, powerful weapon. And yeah, did a lot of things right. It did, it was definitely a breath of fresh air, but it needs to improve. It's definitely got a lot to improve upon.
My whole thing with Breath of the Wild is I feel like we all get caught up on the recency when it came. I love Breath of the Wild. It's top tier for sure. It's a lot. Some things some things I don't understand, but this is just like the Zelda I'm not even a Zelda purist, but like the Zelda fan in me. You can beat the game without the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be possible because the only way to beat Ganon, whatever you want to call him, is with the Master Sword.
That's Calamity Ganon, though. So
it's still Ganon.
Yeah. So that's like a big thing in the lore too.
Master Sword, like the Master Sword was made.
She was evil,
specifically for him.
Well,
it just felt like a side piece in a game. It's always been a central.
When it's always been the staple. Like,
you're right.
I didn't understand that. Like, I understand they want you to go wherever you want, but I feel like, you can go wherever you want, but if you want to do this, you need this weapon. Like,
they gave that role to Zelda because she's the one that seals.
Which I understand. Like, Zelda has been helping you defeat Ganon since, like.
No, but she legit did that sealing power at the end. Remember?
That's what I'm saying.
She's the one that
No, I'm saying like she's been helping you defeat Ganon since wherever, but Link has always been the Master Sword that finishes it.
But this
like whether in Wind Waker, what did she do? She shot some light shit at him, right?
Yeah.
In Twilight Princess, she shot a light arrow at him.
Light arrow.
Ocarina of Time, she did like same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but what finishes it? Link, Ocarina of Time, Link's thrust that bitch in the Ganon's head.
That's probably gonna happen in Breath of the Wild 2.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So that. I feel like that's probably how they're gonna justify Breath of the Wild 2 is that Link didn't use the Master Sword to beat him. Ganon is not using the Master Sword, I guess. Whatever. The music was kind of non-existent. Like, but I do agree with Prez. Like some of the side quests, which it wasn't many, but the side quests to build that village.
That was really good.
Village, that was amazing.
That was a great one.
Fairy Town.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that you had to go and search for the story. It didn't come to you. It wasn't like important. You know what I'm saying? But when you got it, the story is amazing for sure.
Yeah, it's good.
But you got to go out your way to do it,
to find it.
That's one of the downsides of having an open world game.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of including the whole Age of Calamity, which I probably shouldn't do.
You shouldn't, bro.
Age of Calamity's fucking garbage.
But the story wise of Age of Calamity, it definitely fleshes out. My whole thing. One of the
I haven't played it yet.
One of the craziest areas in Breath of the Wild.
Stick to just the main Zelda then. Don't even bring up Age of Calamity, no Hyrule Warriors.
Some of the areas are like really, really like what's that fucking tower? Or like the last, what do you call it, like a garrison or something where you going up?
Yeah.
All the fucking guardians are there. It's like guardians flying around.
Yeah.
Me personally, once you defeat a guardian, the whole fear and like when you first get into it, you scared of guardians. Like, bro, I don't even want to go near these niggas. But when you get the ancient arrows and like you finally defeat them, you know how to like the fear of it is just gone.
Or learn how to use the shield to reflect the beam.
Yeah, to reflect the beam. It's like
carry the beams.
Like, it's kind of like whatever. Yeah. I didn't like the fact I've always said this that Skyward Sword laid out the foundation of the upgrade system for you. You literally go through Breath of the Wild collecting ores, rock salts, gold, diamonds, all this stuff that you could use to upgrade swords, fix swords, and you don't do it.
There should be like a dedicated
blacksmith. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
You tell them to make money. Like it should be a blacksmith that helps you use these items. Besides that, these items are worthless. Could you imagine like you in Breath of the Wild, like, fuck, I have this shield, but to upgrade I need this certain bug that's only located in this region. Shit, I thought I explored this region. This must be somewhere I haven't gone. You go there like, oh shit, it's a region that you haven't even seen. Or like an area of this region that you haven't been. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. I feel like they missed it with that. That's just little shit. The game is still top tier. I will put it as the best game in top tier.
Number one in top tier.
I don't think it's God tier. Like a lot of people say it's the greatest Zelda game of all time. It's not. I still think that's between Ocarina of Time.
It's Ocarina of Time. Yes, I agree.
Link Between Worlds.
like I said before, when I originally played it, I was like, "Oh, this is the greatest Zelda game ever." But a year later, you start thinking about, like, you know what, like, maybe this could have been done better, and that could have been, done better. And he's like, you know what, actually, now that I think about it, Ocarina of Time is still the best game.
Let me go next on this.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ocarina of Time still has it.
Okay, go ahead, Malik, real quick. We're gonna start. We're on 3 hours, so we need to. Yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead.
I know we're not going to discuss Edge of Calamity, but I'm just going to say that adds nothing to the Breath of the Wild story if you actually beat in the game. That's all I'm going to say on that. But if you would have asked Melodic back in 2017, I would have told you not only is Breath of the Wild the best Zelda game, but it's probably one of the best games I've ever played. However, recency bias was in huge effect because the Switch was brand new hardware at the time. So it accompanied that a lot. And that was the game that kind of helped me through my grandfather's death at the time. And it was really cool because towards the hype of Breath of the Wild, actually, who has background noise?
That's
Probably
me. Let me
William.
turn on that
Will.
noise suppression. That's me.
No, that's Pooh's.
All right. But no, it's just like during the hype to Breath of the Wild, like even in high school, like when we were hearing rumors about Zelda being open world, I was telling my friends, I'm like, yo, this is gonna be like this game is gonna be huge and whatever. And during like the final release window towards the Switch and all that, Completionists actually followed me on Instagram, which I thought that was really cool. But yeah, like the actual Gerard like followed me, the Completionist on Twitter. But
I thought
I love the open world. It's one of the things I really like about Zelda NES is the non-linearity of it, and I do love it how they incorporated in a 3D environment. I love that you can climb on any surface, you can point somewhere and just go to that area. You can mount on any animal. You can upgrade all your, not upgrade, but you can find different weapons.
Armor.
It's the one thing I like about Wind Waker. The dungeons in this game suck ass. I'm sorry, even talking with other people, like Erica, for example, I was like, one of the things that they need to fix with the sequel is the dungeons. I love the shrines.
Period.
I love the shrines, but the dungeons themselves were horrible, except for Hyrule Castle. I will say Hyrule Castle will probably be in like my top 10 in terms of dungeons in Breath of the Wild. Because it was just huge. It was like a labyrinth and everything.
If you didn't explore it, you missed out on
done.
so much. I'm sorry, I'm just saying. You missed out on a lot.
The boss battles fucking suck too. Like you had to fight so many variations of Ganon, and there's just like the side quests were cool, but there's so many flaws now that you think about it with Breath of the Wild, to where it's like it's the perfect basis for future Zelda games. But like looking back at it now, it's like this is a Zelda game I probably would not want to revisit anytime soon, especially in terms of like 3D Zelda. So I'm not gonna say it's mid. I would probably put it in between Ages and Wind Waker. I'm just gonna put it in like that middle spot of top tier. Yeah.
And considering it mid.
Real quick, I just want to add something. One thing I hope they do with Breath of the Wild 2 is add key items back, like hook shots and fucking and like boomerangs.
I think the hook shot would have benefited in this game actually.
Yes, that's one thing. That's it. Whoever wants to go, George, go ahead. Did you go already?
Nah, I haven't. Lily, your mic is messed up.
Oh, somebody trying to talk.
Go ahead, George.
For the sake of time, I'm gonna just keep it short. I'm gonna say Breath of the Wild was such a huge chance, like you guys been saying, for Nintendo to take.
Yeah.
I think Skyward Sword caused Breath of the Wild just because of all the backlash that Skyward Sword got. Not backlash, but like a lot of comments about
criticism. Yeah, just
a lot of criticism of Skyward Sword. And I think to a lot of people, and why I give Breath of the Wild so much credit, it brought a lot of new people into the Zelda series. A lot of people that tried Zelda in the past, didn't care about it, came back to Breath of the Wild, and then they absolutely loved it. Or people that never really like, Zelda, whatever, it's the same shit. But then Breath of the Wild comes on, they're like, oh shit, it's different. You know.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool.
And I feel like Breath of the Wild did something for the Zelda series that
they can make better and capitalize on even more in future installments.
That, and also, there really hasn't been a Zelda game since Ocarina of Time that really did that. Ocarina of Time brought Zelda to another level, and then
Can I say something after you, George?
What?
I want to say something after you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. it brought it to another level, and then after that, yeah, they kind of made like certain mechanics better over time, but they never really brought Zelda to another level until Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And I think popularity. I mean, isn't Breath of the Wild the best-selling Zelda game of all time?
Yeah,
of all time.
Of all time. I mean, that's
to be
something.
fair, I know a lot of Zelda games don't really sell like super crazy.
Yeah.
But Breath of the Wild, yes, Breath of the Wild is like what 20 million.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that says something for a franchise like what that's been around for 35 years, and they took a chance. They reinvented themselves for a franchise that literally, honestly, could have just played it safe and been the same until it died out. But they actually were like, you know what? Let's do something different. Let's take inspirations from other games we've been playing and try to make it into a Zelda game. And they did it. But I still think it's a top tier, though.
I want to say this. I just want to end it with this. Like, it's a 35th anniversary.
Yeah.
And this is us. We got Ocarina of Time as God tier.
I mean, other people haven't gone yet, Jay.
Link Between Worlds. Oh, no, okay. I just want to say this thing.
Okay.
And Link Between Worlds is God tier. Like, remember Prez say this generation's Persona 5 is this generation's
Final Fantasy VII.
Breath of the Wild is gonna be like 20 years from now.
They're gonna be like, remember Breath of the Wild? Oh my god!
Year anniversary.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild is gonna be God tier for people.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That depends on how the sequel is gonna do.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
I
that
think Breath of
too.
the Wild 2 about to pop off, bro. That's just me though. But fucking.
But like,
they'll
just
look
how
at the
Ocarina
original
of Time for just like
Can I say
Ocarina
something?
of Time for us. Ocarina of Time for us. 15 years from now, you're gonna see people like, man. Like, my first introduction to the series was Breath of the Wild, and what it did for me, it just has to, like, just how we saying Ocarina of Time, first introduction, what it did for us, how it played, God tier. Breath of the Wild 15 years from now will be God tier. You probably won't be able to argue with people about it.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, Lily.
Go ahead, and then we gotta get everyone else.
Yeah, just you compared it to Ocarina of Time, but I don't know. I would honestly like. There's been a lot of parallels between Breath of the Wild and the original Legend of Zelda. Like, it was to the point where when they were designing the maps for Breath of the Wild, they used like original Zelda templates,
Assets,
in order to like map out and everything like that. And I think Breath of the Wild 2, it might be a whole thing of like Breath of the Wild 1 was the original Legend of Zelda, or Breath of the Wild 2 is probably going to be like, I could see it being like A Link to the Past, where it's just like, it's this thing, but just better in every way, shape, and form.
No, I was just comparing it to that.
I think the impact.
The
impact.
And bringing more
really,
people into the series.
Right.
That's why I was comparing. I wasn't comparing it directly to it. I was just saying the impact and bringing and introducing people to the series.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild definitely made a big impact. But like I said,
did.
for me and personally, it was Ocarina of Time. That's what made
that
me.
was our generation.
That's our that's our generation. You're right. So,
and then 15
Louis, go
years
ahead.
from now, it's gonna be this other generation.
Yeah.
One of the biggest credits, like nobody's brought out when it comes to Breath of the Wild that I will give it is Nintendo found a way on let's all say it. I say it all the time on their subpar system to create one of the games with the most freedom that we've seen since games like Just Cause. It's still to the point. People are still finding out about tech that you can do in Breath of the Wild right now.
Yeah,
There's still
launch enemies
videos
like 500. Yeah,
That physics and
people
chemistry
launching themselves,
system
and
was amazing.
Like literally, the amount of physics and chemistry they put into that game cannot be slept on. I do agree with the fact that main items need to have some kind of significance.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they're gonna do in regards to a hook shot, because that kind of might sublimate the need to ever climb. But I would love to see a hook shot. What else did I want to say about Breath of the Wild? I also agree with Jay on the fact of the Master Sword really just being a non-factor in where it's always been a staple. What else? I wanted to say something else, but I like completely forgot. Uh,
You're right. That was a very slept on perspective of the game, like the physics and stuff like that, and how people could just like launch enemies like 500 feet in the air and then like grab out your bow and just shoot the fucking arrow.
Yeah, because people like
you know what I mean?
so much weight on the other like negative aspects of it, where they don't see how smart some of the attention to detail when it comes to the physics and chemistry.
The physics is really good in that game.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I watched a video that I saw an article on recently, and it was this guy that spent like probably about 30 hours going after a chest that despawns, and he literally like figured out a way to like get himself under the water and but not swim, and then like once he found the treasure chest, he shot it like 30 times with the arrow, and then like used stasis to kind of put himself at the like the amount of stuff that you can do in Breath of the Wild when it comes to the physics is absolutely insane. The fact that that game is 4 years old now and people are still finding new stuff about it, like that definitely can't be slept on.
Yeah.
What else did I want to say? I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Nintendo, bro.
Yeah.
Nintendo, top tier, bro.
Yeah. Like
I'll go top tier for this.
No, it's top tier. It's first spot top tier, absolutely.
Richard.
I'm just gonna say top tier. We've been going so long. I just want to end it.
Well,
yeah, man. William, what do you think?
I think you guys are sleeping on Breath of the Wild. That shit should be on the same tier as Ocarina of Time and whatever the fuck the second game is.
No, well, it's got too many problems to be god tier.
It
I'm
does.
sorry.
And this is coming from the person who likes Zelda 2.
Everyone's
Yeah,
top
I'm
tier.
a person who likes Zelda 2. Are you sure about that?
All right.
Scott is god
We all
tier.
agree, top tier.
Yeah,
I
top
would say
tier.
put it behind A Link to the Past to be safe, but top tier is fine. Word it.
I mean, this is not in any specific
It's
order.
not
Only
in
one
any
that's
specific
yeah.
order,
in specific order is.
If we had time, we would definitely rearrange
Yeah,
the order.
and
Yeah.
we've been going on a little bit longer than we wanted.
This is
to.
long as fuck.
Yeah.
3 hours.
Because we knew
For
that
sure.
we were gonna have some conflicting opinions on some of these
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
But at the end of the day, we all love these games so much.
love
We
these
love the
It's good to have a
series.
discussion about
We
them.
love the series.
Not Spirit Tracks.
Oh, it's not Spirit Tracks. No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Fuck fan
Right?
art.
It's
Alright.
everything above trash tier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the 14 viewers. This is our Legend of Zelda tier list.
The
Go ahead,
We're gonna
Johnny.
get crucified, dog.
Tier
No. The most definitive tier list you'll ever see.
And if anybody
Legend
argues,
of
they're
Zelda
wrong.
series. Exactly.
I still don't understand. I still don't understand how Skyward Sword tied for top tier and mid tier and it's mid tier. That's not fair. I
Because
think we
those
should
are-
make an in between tier. and
All
put it there.
decisions are
Because
final.
We've been here for too long.
Final.
We cannot change them. There's some things that I don't agree with, but I'm not gonna say nothing.
Well, that's what happens when you do a group tier list.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you gotta
We
live,
knew
you
this
gotta
was
live
gonna
with it,
happen.
Jay.
This is
And this is going on our Twitter and it's going to be pinned.
yeah. This.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't know about pin because we have. You know,
Hey, if we're looking for interactions, if we pin this,
True.
bro, we about to get.
Like,
we
oh,
about to get
reported,
people
taken down.
You already know the fact that Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess aren't
Are
top tier people.
Bro,
Go
I'm
fuck
pissed
They're
as
mid
fuck
tier.
that Majora's not God tier.
Yeah, Majora's Mask not in God tier, but bothers me too, bro.
It is what it is. It's sitting
Democracy
nice in
wins.
mid tier, bro. Let's leave it there, bro.
Democracy wins. We all
I
voted.
understand. Democracy is ass, but I understand.
At least everyone on Twitter will agree that Zelda 2 is in the perfect place. Trash tier. Fuck
Exactly.
that game.
Exactly. Everybody's gonna be like, I have so many things wrong with your tier list except Zelda 2. That's exactly where it belongs.
Oh my god.
Alright, guys. This is our Zelda tier list.
Hope y'all.
The Disrespected Podcast. Shout outs to Melodic for coming through and joining us. What was that?
I don't know. Let's
William's
Let's
friend.
just keep going like we didn't.
Yeah. Let's just not acknowledge.
Okay. This is our tier list, though. Zelda 35th anniversary. As you can tell, most of us on this podcast hold Legend of Zelda very high, in high regards. It's my favorite video game series of all time. And I think most of us in here it's their favorite as well. I love this franchise. I can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2.
This is one of the only things I've ever taken seriously.
He had
I really like for the last couple of days. I really sat down and took this very seriously.
Triforce J, he took this shit seriously. He had
Over the past
responsibility.
He had spirit tracks. He said he
tier,
likes
bro?
spirit tracks. I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Over the past couple of days, he replayed every game back to back to get ready.
100% all hearts.
Ooh.
All hearts, baby.
We might do more future tier lists in the future.
Yeah.
Or future tier lists, but more tier lists in the future. I know we'll be thinking about Pokemon maybe in November.
We should do it.
Gen 4 is automatic
I don't have
trash
much
tier.
of an opinion on most of Pokemon games, but
We should do a Lily only Final Fantasy tier list.
Oh my god.
Lily Impress Final Fantasy tier list.
We can't because honestly, while I played quite a bit of Final Fantasy games, I have not played all of them before. So I can't really do something.
I think Lily's the only one in here that's played every Final Fantasy.
Let's just do Final Fantasy 8.
I haven't played 2. I haven't played Final Fantasy 2.
But thank you for Lily for coming back on the podcast. I just come. You know, I'm just gonna say.
The Chronicles will be in trash. I'm just saying that now.
True. But I mean, thank you for coming back. You know, like I've told you before, you're always welcome to come back as a permanent member. Remember that. Okay, but
yeah.
With that being said, Melodic, tell them where they can find you at, bro. Let's get out of here, bro.
You can find me on YouTube and Twitch. YouTube and Twitter at The Melodic Punk. You can find me on Twitch at Just Melodic Punk. Thank you all for having me on. And yeah, Zelda is a fantastic franchise still to this day. I love it. And while I'm doing my outro, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, SoundCloud, Bandcamp, you can find my latest single, Odd One Out, by just searching up Trenton Walls. And yeah, if you like pop punk music, Blink-182, Green Day, then you might like this track. And thank you for having me on.
If you want to post that link, go ahead.
Let me go get that.
Your track. Thank you. Can someone shout out Melodic
link?
Oh, they did.
Okay. Thank you. George, tell them where they can find you at, bro.
You can find me on Twitch and YouTube, Alamio Productions, on Twitter at GeorgeOmio1. I have not been streaming lately, bro. But I will be streaming not next week, but the week after. That's when The Greatest Attorney comes out.
Greatest Attorney.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be streaming.
Fire.
I'm gonna be streaming that. As soon as I get to the second case, I'm gonna start from there and go from there. Play both games on stream. I can't wait. That's it.
Fireblast, shout out everyone when they're doing their outro. Don't just shout out a bunch of people at the same time. Like, so when they're doing their outro, shout them out. Like George. Shout out George. I know. But Lily, tell them where they can find you at.
You can find me on twitch.tv/LilyAsuna. I'm actually gathering up some stuff to do. I really, really do want to get back into streaming. I want to do retro gaming streaming. Yes, exactly. I don't have a capture card, but I wanted to get some like PS4 compilations and do like. I really wanted to do like the original Mega Man games, like 2 and 3. You know,
Play 2.
I was gonna pick up the. Huh?
Play 2, bro.
I'll play 2.
When are you gonna finish 9?
Also play Mega Man 8.
Mega Man 8, yeah, Mega Man 8's fine. It's my least favorite one, but it's not a bad game.
Mega Man 8 was so
good. I got the Castlevania collection coming in the mail from Limited Run. Like I got a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff coming soon. I want to get back into it. Just things are still kind of complicated here on my end, but I'm working towards it.
Yeah.
We can't wait to see you come back to streaming. Definitely. Clueless. The fighting game god himself.
Sir, I'm retired. I am retired.
You whipped all of our asses?
I'm retired from fighting games. You cannot call me that anymore.
Because he ended our careers, bro. He's like, hey, my job's done, bro. I don't need
you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Clueless the Best. I'm going to try to see if I can get my YouTube name changed to also to Clueless the Best, because
I kind of want to get to the point where I start expanding and doing videos for it. Probably like compilations. I like to. I have a
Please, no
bunch of
more
like
me in there.
local artists that I'm working, like local artists that I want to endorse their music with like my highlights and stuff like that. So be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna be changing my YouTube name. It's Chris Lewis right now, but I'm gonna be changing it to Clueless the Best here soon.
Clueless, when you do that, bro, be sure to blur my name out, bro.
Me too.
Smash clips don't have names. You guys already know.
You have hours upon hours of Guilty Gear footage, sir, of just me getting whooped on, bro.
I didn't say you need a Guilty Gear.
Jay, tell me where they can find you at, bro.
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Triforce bro. I haven't streamed in like a month, bro. I just been doing my own
Jay,
thing.
you need to stream, bro. Stop playing, bro.
I know, bro. I'm gonna get back to it, bro. I just been doing my thing, investing,
And
trying to make sure there's money right. You know what I'm saying?
If life happens, bro. That's how I see it.
Investing in my you know what I'm saying? I like quit one of my jobs, so now I'm just like, I gotta make sure like I'm betting on myself, and I gotta make sure I win. That's all. So I haven't been streaming. I'll probably get back to stream. I wanted to stream like 2 days ago, and I was gonna stream Final Fantasy X. So I've been playing Final Fantasy X, which is a great game. I think Final Fantasy X is a really good game.
You think it's
So
underrated?
I think it definitely is underrated. Prez, I will never let you influence me ever again.
Overrated fucking track. But all right. If you want to watch, the shittiest fucking Final Fantasy game ever, definitely go check out his stream.
Yeah, but I will be back soon, man. I think I'll be back Monday.
Oh shit!
And also says the man who likes Final Fantasy VIII.
I think I've done all I can.
Round 57.
I think I've done all I can in these last couple weeks to just bet on myself to make sure everything goes all right.
Yeah.
So I think I can like focus and calm down and play some games and stream.
Yeah.
So
it's good.
Just look forward to that. That's it.
Hey,
William, tell me where they can find you at, bro.
They can find me at Wing Gamer on Twitch and Twitter, and Wing Gamer 55 on YouTube.
Richard, tell me where they can find you at.
Pretty much only on Twitter at Little Zero.
he tweets sometimes.
His Discord name.
I don't. Everybody's just
don't say it on stream.
We
please.
get taken down.
Everybody can see it.
I know everybody can.
Man.
Yeah, everybody can see the name, bro.
And Alton's profile picture, which is giving me nightmares.
And Natsuki is best girl. But all right, you guys can find me at twitch.tv/runaway_shark. I haven't streamed in a few weeks. I probably will on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Better stream.
Whenever the new Genshin Impact update comes out. That's Tuesday.
You
So
gonna
2.0. Oh, yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Oh,
We want to see you stream Ninja Gaiden, bro. That's what we want to see.
I have
bro.
it on Switch though. That's the thing. So it's like fucking. If I had a PC, I would. But that game looks rough, dude. On Switch. Well, the second one does at least. But yeah, definitely find me next week. I'll be streaming Genshin Impact, everyone's favorite game. But yeah, with that being said, shout outs to everyone. We'll try and be more consistent with the episodes. Life hits. We're all adults. Life, it's just life. Work, personal issues.
I'm not.
Everyone's just been. I won't say everyone's going through a lot, but everyone's just got a lot going on. But yeah. Let's go rate somebody.
Who we rating?
Audible's playing Dark Souls 3.
Audible's on. We can rate Josh. I don't think we've rated Josh before. You want to rate Josh?
What's his Twitch name?
Still Shrine.
Still.
Because we rated Audible the last time. So
Is he playing Dead by Daylight?
Yeah.
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay, Still Shrine.
Go check out the homie Josh. That's Richard and I's friend. He's cool dude. Just started streaming. I think he's trying to get to affiliate. I think he's almost there. I don't know if he's there. Oh, he already got to it? Yeah, he just got to affiliate. Go show him some love.
Get him to partner.
Oh, yeah. Hey, all of us got to get to partner
Can we
first.
get to partner, bro? Can we get to partner first?
We still have to affiliate the channel.
Yeah, we've been affiliate for over a year now, and we gotta set that up. We gotta do something about that. Yeah, we'll get Audible next time. We rated Audible the last time, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll get them next time. We'll switch it up a little bit.
And
You just want to hit it? We have all the Raiders.
Yeah.
We're not. Nothing else to announce. All right, everybody.
See you guys next week.
Fuck Fire Blast.
Fuck
I'll finger in my ass.
Fire Blast! Bye, love you.
Nintendo, baby.
Bye.
Fire
My ass
Blast!
bitches.
All right. I think it went through.
Yeah.